Welcome to the Lion Nation Podcast, brought to you by SHN Sports. Tonight's commentators are Chuck Crazy, Mark Sickles, and Gary Gutierrez. It's game time.
Welcome to Round Rock, Texas, here as your Leander Lions get ready to take on the Round Rock Dragons as they continue their 13-6A slate of juggernaut teams. And Round Rock, number 2 in district, only loss coming to the Vandergrift Vipers, who sit atop the district. And looks like we're going to do the anthem right here. I'm not sure how well the crowd mic's going to pick it up, but we're going to try to do that. I just want to let everyone know that we don't have a camera tonight, so it will be an audio-only broadcast. We apologize, but we've had some technical difficulties as well as our camera person with a prior commitment. And so we'll bring you the audio and try to be as descriptive as possible. But here are the anthem. That anthem rendition by the Round Rock Choir, looking to be about 60 kids strong down there. They may have more kids in their choir than we have on our varsity football team here tonight. There's a slew of injuries to Lion players, and as a result, the Lions will be doing a little bit of patchwork up front on both the offensive and defensive lines. And so, the Lions still looking for that first win here in the 2019 season. And why not knock off number 2, Gary?
Yeah, it's going to be a great game tonight. Perfect fall weather. We finally got some fall weather. It was midsummer yesterday.
Right.
Good 98 degrees.
That's Texas for you. It'll change pretty quickly in about a 12-hour period.
Yeah.
I'm checking right now. It's 55, feels like 52, wind coming out of the north at 10 miles an hour.
That's perfect football weather. Yeah, this rivalry's been, or battle, I should say, has been going on for a while with these two teams. There's two of the oldest teams here in the area, along, of course, with Pflugerville and then Westwood coming on in the early 80s, late 70s there. It's a good matchup. I would like to see Leander just come in and get this offense moving.
Hey, Jerry.
Anyway, I'd like to have this see this offense get moving, get this ball rolling, and we've seen the potential. Minus the injuries, of course, we've seen the potential for this team to do some big things. So let's see what they do tonight.
And they're just waiting on that one break or that night where they get a couple of breaks early and try to get on top of somebody. And there's the opening kickoff. It's going to be in and out of the back of the end zone, and so the Lions will have it 1st and 10 from their own 35.
Yeah, and you mentioned some of those injuries, and there's some guys that have fell out this week, but there's also some coming back for this game that we haven't seen in the last week or so too. So that ought to be a help to this offense and defense on both sides of the ball, as some of those guys were missing as well.
Well, and Coach Price and staff are looking for that that combination that brings the most success. And, that's on both sides of the ball. As you've seen guys switch from offense to defense and sometimes back and forth during a game. Lions come out in formation from the sideline. Landry in a pistol formation. Looks like he has Dotson behind him, and the snap goes between Landry's legs, and Dotson has to jump on the ball. It's a big loss on the opening play of about 12 yards, and so it'll be second down and 22. It looked like Landry wasn't even ready for the ball. Of course, the Lions with a new center tonight because their starting center, senior Jonathan Kirby, is out with an injury, and so they move a guard over to center, Michael Conti, and it's the first snap of the game, a little bit of nervousness, but now it's second and long for the Lions. Pistol formation, two running backs in the backfield with Landry. He's got a running back to his left. He hands to Dotson behind the lead back, and Dotson's in the open over the 20 to the 25, back to the original line of scrimmage, and maybe even a little beyond. Looks like they're going to mark him right there, and so it'll be a third down and 10 yards to go for the Lions.
Yeah, you've got a big responsibilities when it comes to being the new center, coming in a game like this. And, I take that this guy will take care of business. He got a little nervous, as you said, coming right out on that first play. But a lot of pressure there for that guy, and Kirby was a big part of the game plan there for this line.
Well, and Conti did fine there on the second snap, got a pretty good block as well. So 3rd and 10. Landry takes the snap, throws it to Pare in the flat. He cuts up inside over the 27 to about the 28-yard line. So not a big gain, about 4 yards. It'll be 4th down, and likely the Lions will bring out the punting unit. It looks like that's what they're going to do, and that'll be, of course, Eli Gaiman, the Lions' kicking specialist. Back deep to receive the punt for the Round Rock Dragons will be Colin Sullivan, senior wide receiver, and obviously kick returner as well. Lions not afraid to run a fake, but 4th and 7 is pretty long to be running a fake on your end of the field. There's a snap. Gaiman gets the kickoff, and it's a high punt. There's a fair catch made by Sullivan, and Round Rock will take over on their own 43. We'll take a quick break and be right back. You're listening to Lion Football on SHN Sports.
The Leander Lions Football Booster Club wants to recognize the following Lion faithful for their generosity this season. At the red level, Dan and Rachel Bumgartner, Daniel and Kat Dupre, Dave and Tracy Nordstrom, and David and Robin Tillman. At the white level, Lucy Belter. And at the
Welcome back, and Round Rock back quickly to the line of scrimmage to start this drive. Seth Ford, the quarterback, takes a snap, hands off to the running back straight ahead, off left guard, and that is Israel Morgan, and he picks up about 5 yards, maybe 4. They're going to mark him right at the 47, so about 4 yards, 2nd and 6, and the Dragons playing with a little tempo. Ford quickly takes a snap, throws it in the flats, complete to 14. He breaks a tackle and is brought down by Evan Smith in Lion territory at the 43. Looked like Egglesey was there to be able to try to make a tackle, but Smart was able to shake him off and pick up the first down for the Dragons. 9:20 and counting, and the Dragons continue with the tempo. Ford in a pistol formation. The running back, Israel Morgan. He's got 2 receivers on either side of the formation. One comes in motion. Fakes the handoff, looks to throw down the left sideline. One-on-one coverage, and the defender falls down, and it's a touchdown for the Dragons. And that is number 9, Colin Sullivan, catching that pass. And it looked like their legs kind of got tangled up a little bit of contact, but
Yeah, I think some of the players looking for a flag there on the defense as the receiver put his hand out, kind of stiff-armed the DB there and pushed him to the ground. At least it looked not incidental in that situation, but the refs call it good, and it's touchdown for Round Rock.
So point after attempt coming up. And that one is through the uprights, and it looks like the kicker's number may not be on our roster. No, it's 35, and that's Dax Music, the kicker for that. It doesn't show him as a kicker on our roster, but we'll give him credit for it anyway.
Yeah,
I checked that. It looks like it's 32, Carter Wagner.
Yeah, I got some games, other games in the area. We have Leander, of course, here at Round Rock Stadium. We have Stony Point at playing Vista Ridge tonight. That's 0-0. That started.
That should be a pretty good game.
Yep, Vandergrift is at McNeil. And then last night, of course, a game between Cedar Ridge and Hendrickson, and Cedar Ridge came out on top 31-21 last night.
Of course, the Lions play whomever Vandergrift plays the following week. The Lions, the way the schedule's set up, and, of course, Vandergrift goes and thumps on a team, and then they're a little upset when they show up to play the Lions. And, of course, scheduling is what it is. You play who's on your schedule. If they were all lightweights, you'd play them all. But, the point being, you want to play tougher teams. The Lions, not quite to the level they want to be here in 13-6A yet. Coach Price, in his first year, hasn't even been here a full year. We talked to him a little bit about that on the podcast. So, kicking off is 36. We don't have his name. And his kick will be fielded by Egglesey at the 10. He had a little bit of trouble, was able to get his handle on it, but the dragging coverage is there to prevent any, very minimal return of about a yard. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lions on their 11 with 8:56 here remaining in the first period, and they're down to the Dragons here 7-0. Of course, you can hear the Dragon Band because we're on the home side, and it's packed here, homecoming. Lions come out from the sideline in formation. Landry, the quarterback, has a pistol formation, Dotson behind him, and Hanson in the running back position next to him. Kind of an H-back. He goes in motion. There's a snap. They hand to Dotson. He follows that lead block, and he's hammered at the line of scrimmage.
Davion Finch.
4.
Yeah. Davion Finch, came up strong and good form tackle and drove him back.
So now it'll be 2nd down and about 9 yards to go for the Lions. They gave Dotson a 1-yard gain there on that one, even though he got knocked back about 3. The Dotson, not an easy person to move. He's very thick.
A little bit bigger.
So we got a pistol formation, Pare in motion, and they tighten the formation up with both receivers. Bring Pare back into the backfield. They take the snap. Landry hands to Pare going right to left, and he can't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Running to the short side of the field, the Dragon defense able to close that down and string it out nicely. There on the stop, Kyler Kirkpatrick, and it'll be 3rd down and 12 now for Leander. Ball at the 9.
Yeah, it's a new little play they've added to the playbook there.
You almost want to run that to the wide side, but you want to keep a team honest as well. You don't want them to just assume you're going to run to the wide side every time. So 3rd and long, pistol formation. Landry takes the snap, hands to Dotson off the left tackle. He breaks into the open, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's going to go midfield. He's at the 40, 30, 20. Touchdown, Leander. No flags, and the Lions are within a point with 7:19 remaining here in the first period. Xavier Dotson with a 92-yard run, 91-yard run from scrimmage. Great blocking there by the youngsters brought up from the JV to work on the offensive line this week, and give a little credit to that center, Michael Conte, as well, as they open up that left side.
Yeah, and he's done that time and time again this year, leading the charge here for this Leander offense. Xavier Dotson, number 21.
Eli Gaiman in for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up. And we have a tie ball game as it goes right through the upright. 7:19 remaining, and it's 7-7. You're listening to Lion Football on SHN Sports. We'll take a short break and be right back.
A big thank you goes out from the Leander Lions Football Booster Club to our 2 great platinum sponsors for their support of Leander Lions football this season. First, 9 Round Fitness, located at 2906 South Baghdad Road, right across the street from Leander High School. Call 9 Round at 512-843-3925. 9 Round, where your first 30-minute full body workout is free. Look for them on Facebook. That's 9 Round. And Good Flow Plumbing. Call them at 512-501-2051 or find them online at goodflowplumbing.com. Good Flow Plumbing, Backed by more than 50 years of industry experience in Austin, Good Flow Plumbing provides honest, knowledgeable plumbing service. The kind of service you can trust. Good Flow Plumbing, license M-37868. Thanks again for sponsoring Leander Lions football. And go Lions!
Welcome back to Round Rock High School here in Round Rock, Texas, as the Lions get ready to kick off after the 91-yard touchdown run by senior Xavier Dotson. Back deep to receive for the Dragons, Colin Sullivan, who had the touchdown reception earlier, and along with him, Jordan Smart.
Yeah, that was just a basic kind of run off tackle on the left side and got some great blocking. And once he gets out in the open, no one's going to catch him. So good job by the Leander Lions coming back to tie this up with 7:19 left in the first.
So Gaiman puts toe to leather, and it's a high kick around the 20, and it's muffed. Picked up by number 14, Jordan Smart, and he dances his way, spins forward. He's up over the 25, past the 30 to about the 34, where he's run down by the line kick coverage team there on the stop. Credit number 11, Bailey Bonnet. And so it'll be first down for the Dragons from their own 33.
Yeah, a little over pursuit there on that kickoff.
Well, you see the ball on the turf, you get a little excited. You sometimes break your contain lanes, and when the an athlete like that scoops the ball up, it could cause problems. Lions are able to get him down on their end of the field, on Round Rock's end of the field, rather. And so we have a shotgun formation. Quarterback takes the snap, fakes the handoff, runs straight ahead, and Ford is at the 50, and he's tripped up as he crosses the 50 by, looks like that's going to be
Lucas Flores.
Flores. Really a touchdown-saving tackle because Ford was getting ready to be in the wide open. Takes the snap, hands off straight ahead to the running back, Morgan, and he breaks into the secondary and is wrapped up around the 35 of Leander. Didn't get a number on that tackler. Looks like I'm going to credit Egglesey, although it could be Flores.
Yeah, that was
again.
Andrew Burt, number 24.
Burt. Okay, so first and 10 in Round Rock with the tempo. Ford takes the snap, and they hands off straight ahead again to Morgan. And he picks up about 7 yards, this time to the 28.
Yeah, you got to get back up and stay disciplined here on defense when you're going up against this tempo. Round Rock trying to take advantage.
Nana on the tackle there for the Lions. Second down, 3 yards to go. Seth Ford in a pistol formation. Morgan, the running back, behind him. He brings Matthew Teeter into the backfield. Takes the snap. Ball's on the ground. Lions have an opportunity.
There we go. They got it.
And the Lions believing in themselves here. Get a break early. 7-7 with 6:12 remaining in the first period. And maybe Round Rock looking past Leander a little bit here.
Well, you can see that cold air is maybe playing a little part in the ball handling on both sides of this team already. We've seen some bobbles on both sides of the ball.
Quick scoring update here. Big one, Stony Point at Vista. Vista's up 2-0, and Vandergrift is ahead of McNeil 7-0 in the first.
Again, we apologize. We're not going to have video of this game, but if you have a player, they have access to the video through the Huddle app. Talk to your player, and they'll get you video of the game, but we'll bring you the audio here live. Landry takes the snap, fakes to Pare, goes deep down the left seam, or sideline rather, and it looked like the receiver didn't, with Landry, not on the same page as Landry throws deep down the right sideline, and the receiver had cut the route off a good 15 yards shy of that. Second down. So the Lions looking really to take advantage of the turnover, the quick hitter, but the receiver not on the same page. Maybe it was even two receivers in that area, not even sure where the pass was going. Had one on the seam, one on the sideline, but Lions break the huddle, 2nd and 10, pistol formation. Dotson, the running back, behind Landry. Two receivers to the left of the formation, a single receiver to the right. Landry takes the snap, hands Dotson to the right side. Dotson gets about 7 yards, runs over a defender to do so all the way to about the 40. They're going to mark him at the 44 of Leander, which is about 3 yards shy of the first down. So 3rd and short for the Lions here. And this may be 2-down territory for Leander, down 0-7 on their record this season. Looking for that spark. They got a little bit there with the recovery by Evan Smith. And so we have a pistol formation here. Third down is short. Landry looks over to the sideline to get the play. The running back is Xavier Dotson, 2 receivers on the wide side. Landry takes a snap, and they hand to Dotson. He stops at the line of scrimmage, and is swarmed, and there's a flag that comes in late. Hard to think that could be a hold because it was so late, and the Dotson was already wrapped up. But it is in the area.
Could have been a face mask possibly.
But it is where a hold is typically called. So let's see what the call is here, because it will affect the Lions' decision making. They're going to say it is a face mask, and so the Lions get a break there and a first down. And these are the kind of breaks that we've talked about all season long that don't ever go Leander's way. And tonight, so far, I mean, knock on whatever this is, particle board, it's going the Lions' way here early. They have it in Round Rock territory, 1st and 10 from the Dragon 41, 5:15 and counting. Pistol formation, Landry, the quarterback, Dotson behind him, tight formation, 3 receivers bunched to the left. Landry fakes to Dotson, rolls to the right, and they hit Pare in the flat. A little misdirection there. They had all of the receivers on the left side of the formation, and they brought Pare out of the backfield in the flat on the right side of the formation. He's able to pick up 6 yards.
Yeah, and the receiver for Leander, had he picked up that block, he probably could have picked up that first down.
Well, it'll be 2nd down, and it looks like they're going to give him 5 yards. 2nd down and 5, ball at the 36-yard line. You want to stay ahead of the chains. The Lions have been able to do that. You like the confidence that's building with this group of linemen here. Maybe the combination has been found. Landry in a pistol formation. Dotson behind him. They hand to Parrott going left to right. He can't get upfield. They're on the short side of the field as the Dragons are able to string it out and actually cause about a 2-yard loss. So the Lions will have it at the 39 of Round Rock. 3rd down. They need to get to the 31, so they need 8 yards to continue this drive, although this is 2-down territory for the Lions. And a 1st down, they're really in field goal range for Eli Gaiman. But you want touchdowns here when you're playing a team like the Round Rock Dragons at their home.
Yeah, we've seen them put up a lot of points offensively in these first games of the season already, so they're capable.
Landry takes the snap. He throws down the left sideline, and Leonard and he are on different pages. Leonard looks like he's running an in or a slant, and Landry throws it deep down the left sideline to where no one is, and so it'll be 4th down and 8. You kind of would have wanted to get some yardage on that 3rd down if you're going to go for it here, but it looks like the Lions are going to do it anyway as Landry looks over to the sideline. The Lions in a huddle.
Yeah, you want to try to draw them off sides at the very least and try to gain some of those yards free.
Well, you want to be able to take advantage of the face mask penalty. And the Lions will take a timeout. We'll take it with them. You're listening to Lion Football on SHN Sports. I'm here with Gary Gutierrez, Mark Sickles, Jared Schmeiser, and, of course, our producer, Rich Hensley. We'll be right back.
Go, Rich.
The Leander Lions Football Booster Club wants to thank the following local businesses for their support of Leander Lions football this season. At the bronze level, Buttercup Dental, 512-335-8121. HEB Plus at 651 North U.S. Highway 183 in Leander. Tillman Physical Therapy at 512-331-6200. Bill Miller's Barbecue at 1651 West Whitestone Boulevard. And Pendleton Orthodontics at 512-355-7727. At the silver level, Wingstop, located at 401 West Whitestone Boulevard in Cedar Park. Order online at wingstop.com. Thanks again for sponsoring Leander Lions football. And go Lions!
Welcome back to Round Rock as the Lions in timeout, still huddled near the numbers on their side. 4th down and 8. The ball marked at the Dragon 39. We're tied 7-7, 4:16 remaining here in the first period. Landry in a shotgun formation has Dotson just to his left. Sends Dotson in motion to the right. Drops straight back. Thrown straight over the middle. Complete. Oh, they're saying it's incomplete.
He was open. Yeah, ball hit the ground on the turf. That's what they're saying. He had enough for the first down on the attempt. He was about 2 or 3 yards behind the first down marker, but
that's Wesley Weingart, the intended receiver there, and it was a little bit low. He went down. Looked like he He may have had it to me, but the referee from the Lions sideline, the line judge, comes running out, indicating that he saw it hit the ground. So the Dragons will have it first down and 10 on their own 39 with 4:10 left here in the first period. And they come from the sideline in formation. The quarterback, Seth Ford, in a pistol. He has a running back to his side. That is Israel Morgan. Ford fakes to one of the receivers coming in motion and carries off left guard for a 2-yard gain. Nana there on the tackle for the Lions. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, he was assisted there with Evan Smith. That's one of those gambles you take. They had a good play drawn up on that 4th down, but field position would be nice as well.
Execution is key. Ford takes the snap, hands to Morgan straight ahead. He's tripped up by Evan Smith, kind of spins afterwards, and Sarpong, or Nana Sarpong, ends up cleaning it up for him, and it's going to be 3rd down and 5 for the Dragons. Ball marked at the 44-yard line. And so they've slowed their tempo up. They get a big play, and they crank that tempo up to about 11 for any of you old metal
Spinal
fans.
Tap.
Spinal Tap reference. Seth Ford drops back, hits the receiver, number 9, Sullivan, and he picks up a first down in line territory to about the 48. Jammer was able to wrap him up there pretty quickly, but here comes the tempo.
Yeah, and they're testing Jammer. They've got 3 guys out wide.
And they throw to number 9, Sullivan, and he's trying to run before he catches it. Pass from Ford, a little hot, a little low.
Yeah, not sure if he saw it. He just kind of started jogging upfield, and the ball was going out of bounds.
Yeah, he smoked it over there. Ford, also a baseball player, and so, sometimes those baseball players flash back to throwing it from short to first.
Yeah.
From that quarterback. Ford takes a snap. Ball is tipped in the air as he hits Sullivan in the hands, but again, with a little bit of mustard on it, you take a little bit off those passes, and those are completions. It almost is like when John Elway first started it in the NFL. Sometimes you just got to take a little bit off of it.
Yeah, you get your arm strength got you there. Slow down a little bit.
Big 3rd down here for Leander.
For the Dragons as well, pistol formation, Ford, the quarterback. He steps up to the line of scrimmage, barks out the play, takes the snap, fakes to Morgan, drops straight back. He's got a little bit of time. They've hit the running back Morgan on a screen, and he's wrapped up immediately.
Yeah, Nana right there on the tackle. Great job.
Also there for the Lions, Joseph Choto, and it's about a 2-yard gain, maybe a yard.
Injury timeout
and
for
it's going to be 4th
second.
down. Yeah, it looks like we got a timeout on the field. Is Morgan unable to get much on that play, and so the Lion defense will run over to the sideline, and they'll talk about what to do here on 4th down. And that's pretty quick. They get the running back off, and the Lion defense runs back out. Might as well get a little drink of water, while you're waiting. And that's what they're doing here. And so the Dragons ready to go, 4th and 8. They're going to go for it on the line 46. Seth Ford, the quarterback, has a new running back. Can't see his number right now. Ford looks over, gets a signal from the sidelines, relays that to the offensive line. Takes the snap. He's going to run it himself straight ahead. He finds a little bit of a crease, and he's up the right seam. He's going to take it all the way to the house. 45-yard run for the quarterback, Seth Ford, and the Dragons will go on top 13-7 with 2:08 remaining here in the first period.
Yeah, and that was just textbook blocking there by the Round Rock offensive line as those big boys just headed down the field and led the charge.
Great vision by the quarterback as well. It's easy to have big guys knock guys around, but if you don't make the right cut off those blocks, it's almost pointless because they'll block the guy right into you. But Ford, great vision, was able to find just a little seam and take it all the way. The extra point is good. It's 14-7 with 2:08 remaining. We'll take a quick break and be right back on SHN Sports.
big thank you goes out from the Leander Lions Football Booster Club to our two great platinum sponsors for their support of Leander Lions football this season. First, 9 Round Fitness, located at 2906 South Baghdad Road, right across the street from Leander High School. Call 9 Round at 512-843-3925. 9 Round, where your first 30-minute full-body workout is free. Look for them on Facebook. That's 9 Round. And Good Flow Plumbing. Call them at 512-501-2051 or find them online at goodflowplumbing.com. Good Flow Plumbing, backed by more than 50 years of industry experience in Austin, Good Flow Plumbing provides honest, knowledgeable plumbing service. The kind of service you can trust. Good Flow Plumbing, license M-37868. Thanks again for sponsoring Leander Lions football. And go Lions!
Round Rock getting ready to kick off here in Round Rock, Texas, leading the Lions 14-7. The kicker's not on our roster, at least as number 36, so we're going to give that to the only kicker on the roster, and that's Colin Harwick to kick back deep to receive for the Lions, Egglesey and Dotson. It's a short kick. It's going to go to the up back Pare, who is over the right at the 20, is wrapped up by Tavori Donaldson. And so the Lions will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20 with 2:03 remaining here in the first period.
Yeah, as this Leander offense gets set to go out and try to get and even up this score, they're already sitting with a little over 100 yards on offense coming into this drive. So let's see if they can march down and get these 80 yards.
Well, if Round Rock was under the impression the Lions were going to come in here and lay down, they've obviously realized that was a mistake. And are trying to get back into a competitive mode themselves. And the Lions take a snap, hand to Dotson going to the right, and Dotson, the workhorse, is going to continue to be fed the football. He gets about a yard on the right side. It's going to be 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, they're going to continue to feed that ball to him, and the defense has prepared that, and he still breaks them out, and that just shows the talent that he has running the ball behind the offensive line of Leander.
So 2nd down, 9 yards to go. The Lions come out of the huddle in a pistol formation. Dotson, the running back, behind Landry. There's the fake to Dotson, and Landry rolls to his left, hits Pare in the flat. He gets a couple of yards and is stacked up and dragged down. They're going to give him progress to the 25-yard line where it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Lions.
Yeah, we've seen that quite a bit tonight just on the couple series that Leander has had. Those kind of rollout dumps out in the flat, and they've been successful. So, look for that more in the game as they've been able to complete those early here.
Yeah, the misdirection looks nice. They get everybody flowing to the wide side of the field, and the defense going that way, and Parrott releases the opposite way, and Landry, of course, with the naked boot, is able to flip it to him. 3rd and 5 now, the Lions in a pistol with tight receivers here on the short side. They send Dotson that direction as well, but they throw to the left side on a slant, and what a catch for a 1st down by Leonard. He had a defender draped on him in Trey King and was still able to come up with a catch. Great pass as well by Garrett Landry to get the 1st down for the Lions right at the 31.
Yeah, Landry stuck it right in there, and that just shows you the strength of the receiver right there to be able to pull that thing in and hold on to the ball.
Landry also another one of those baseball players who flings a football around in the fall and sometimes can be known to throw it a little bit too hard.
And that should be the end of the first quarter. They're walking off. The play clock is going to be a little bit longer than the clock on the field, so that's about it.
Let it wind down, and we'll take a quick break. You're listening to Lion Football on SHN Sports. Stay tuned.
Go Lions.
The Leander Lions Football Booster Club wants to recognize the following Lion faithful for their generosity this season. At the red level, Dan and Rachel Bumgartner, Daniel and Kat Dupre, Dave and Tracy Nordstrom, and David and Robin Tillman. At the white level, Lucy Belter. And at the lion level, Brian and Jessica Campbell, the Shoto family, John and Denise Christensen, Louie and Ray Egglesey, Russ and Kathy Gaiman, Jason and Gina Gordon, Katie and Justin Hanner, Rich and Patricia Hensley, Kyle and Maria Kennedy, Earl and Janice Lott, Gary and Ann McDaniel, Mike and Sandy Slater, Roger and Laura Smith, and Darren and Jessica Webster. Again, thank you so much for sponsoring Leander Lions football this season. And go Lions!
Welcome back to Dragon Stadium here as we flip the field and open the second quarter. It's 1st and 10 for the Lions on their own 31. They trail the Dragons here on their homecoming night by a score of 14-7. Pistol formation, Dotson the running back. One receiver on either side of the formation, then you have the H-back. I'm not sure who that is. Evan Smith. And he's lead blocking for Dotson on the right side, and the Dragons able to come behind that lead block, flowing from the wide side of the field to drop Dotson for a loss of 1 at the 30.
Yeah, as they're trying to pick up their second first down of the game, they've had the long 91-yard run, and then they picked up another first down on a penalty, so they're trying to gain some ground.
Well, they had the first down catch by Leonard right before this. So.
That's right.
Yeah, you can see that they're geared and they're being really aggressive on the initial pursuit. So that's why those misdirections have been successful so far.
Lions again in the pistol. Landry takes the snap, spins and hands to Dotson. He runs to the left side, gets back to the original line of scrimmage at the 31, but he's wrapped up, and the Lions have 3rd and 10, and it looks like Coach Price is out on the field talking to the referee about something. Dotson might have lost his helmet. Looks like he did. And so the Lions will need to burn a timeout if they want him back in the game. And they send in another running back. Looks like that's going to be Brendan Hansen.
Yeah, I think they're protesting the fact that his helmet may have gotten pulled off.
Yeah, that they'll allow a player to stay in if it is pulled off. But there should also be a penalty if your running back gets his helmet pulled off. It's likely a face mask. And so pistol formation for the Lions, 3rd and 10. Landry with Hansen behind him, and the Lions will go on ahead and burn a timeout because of the play clock, and so they may send Dotson back in. We'll go on ahead and stay here on the broadcast at 10:45 left in the half, 14-7 Lion lead.
I got a couple scores here.
Lay it on us.
So far we have Vista Ridge 15, Stony Point nothing, still in the first quarter. So there have been a couple quick scores and a safety from what there was early on. Vandergrift is up 14-7 over McNeil, and that is at McNeil. And, of course, the game from last night, Cedar Ridge over Hendrickson. See if I can get some other scores in the area while you guys catch up.
And so the Dragons are going ahead and break the huddle here on the sideline. Lions are going to use every second of their timeout as they come up with a 10-yard play here to try to keep this drive alive. And they do come from the sideline into formation. Landry is still looking to the sideline. Pistol formation has Dotson back in the game as the running back. And they're trying to send him up, but if he used a timeout, he can come back into the game. And the Lions did use a timeout. I don't understand what the discussion is. Coach Price explaining to the referee the actual rules of football, which allow the player who loses his helmet back in the game if you spend a timeout. So not to sound frustrated, but come on, the White Hat should know that rule. Pistol formation, Dotson the running back.
In fact, it's in the clause.
two receivers to the top of the formation on the short side of the field. One here on the bottom. Landry takes the snap, fakes to Dotson, drops back over the middle,
nice.
Hits a complete pass to Loof. Oh, check that. That's Aiden Parrott with a nice grab for a first down at the 42-yard line. And while they needed 10, they get 11.
Yeah, that was a great catch there. He got hit immediately, but just got past the first down line. And we forgot to mention, of course, the Battle of the Lakes tonight. 7:30 kickoff, Westlake and Lake Travis.
Is there any score in that one?
No, it is 7:36 right now, so they're just about kicking off. A little late kickoff.
Prime time.
Pistol formation for Landry. Takes the snap. They hand to Parrott, who cuts up over right guard and picks up about 3 yards to the 45. And he is wrapped up there by Davian Finch, the junior defensive back. And so the Lions need 7 here for a first down. They have it at the 45. They need the 48 of Round Rock. They're in the huddle as the clock ticks to 9:50 and beyond. Pistol formation, 2 receivers to the wide side of the field, and Parrott and Leonard. And then you've got a receiver down here on the bottom side of the field, and it looks like that is going to be Caden Wheatley. Landry takes the snap, and they hand to Dotson going straight ahead, and he's wrapped up after a gain of a couple by Mikey Hernandez, the senior defensive lineman for the Dragons. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 yards to go as the Lions have it on the 47. And they need the 48 of the Dragons for a first down. Of course, the way the Lions play, this is 2-down territory here for Leander.
Yeah, they need to get some points here. They're only trailing by 7 here. 9 minutes left in the first half. Doing a great job and battling here at Round Rock.
Tight formation again. They send Dotson in motion, and they throw a quick screen to Pare, and he's able to duck in up near midfield. They're going to mark him at the 49, and so he's 3 yards shy of the first down. And the Lions will bring out the punting unit as they want to try to pin the Dragons back here and flip the field with 8:30 and counting. And it's a tough decision here. It's almost 2-down territory, but at the same time, you're only down a score. And so you want to play this ultimately against a team like Round Rock. You just want to be in the game at the end and give yourself an opportunity to win.
And there it is. Oh, didn't get it.
Ahead, and
didn't
it was
get
Aiden Parrott who came in from the outside to line up as a lineman, and quick snap to him. He picks up a yard, but the Dragons able to stop him at the 50. And so,
don't mind the call, just didn't work out.
Yeah, you either, I was just mentioning you probably want to run a play there, and that's what they did. They just tried to fool the Dragons, and of course, you go to the well too often.
As they set the ball past the line of the first down marker.
Pistol formation. Ford takes the snap, drops straight back, throwing down the left sideline as a receiver open, and it is complete to that receiver, and he is able to shake off Jammer, and that's Sullivan for the Dragons, and he's able to get a score pretty quickly as they flip the field after the missed 4th down fake punt attempt by the Lions. And so now it's 27 with just under 8 minutes left, and the point after attempt will come up here from Colin Harwick. The holder, also not on our roster, number 83. The snap, hold, and the kick is up. And it is now 21-7 with 7:59 remaining. We will take a quick break and be right back for the next Line Drive. You're listening to Line Football on SHN Sports.
The Leander Lions Football Booster Club wants to thank the following local businesses for their support of Leander Lions football this season. At the bronze level, Buttercup Dental, 512-335-8121. HEB Plus at 651 North U.S. Highway 183 in Leander. Tillman Physical Therapy at 512-331-6200. Bill Miller's Barbecue at 1651 West Whitestone Boulevard. And Pendleton Orthodontics at 512-355-7727. At the silver level, Wingstop, located at 401 West Whitestone Boulevard in Cedar Park. Order online at wingstop.com. Thanks again for sponsoring Leander Lions football. And go Lions!
Welcome back to Round Rock High School. The Dragons getting ready to kick off after their most recent touchdown, score 21-7. The Lions battling here with the number 2 team in district in terms of rankings go. Stony Point also with a pretty good record along with Cedar Ridge.
Yeah, Leander, trying to control the time of possession as they sit very heavy in this first and second half with possession. Just those 4th down calls just didn't work out for them.
Yeah, shorten the game if you can. If you're the Lions, short kick fielded by Choto at the 20. He carries straight ahead and is tripped up and gets to the 25. Just as good as a touchback. Lions will have it 1st and 10 from there. And, of course, the offense will huddle on the sideline.
I blame all the 4th down trickery on Mike Leach.
Well, there's that one coach, I can't remember his name, is the high school coach. They never punt.
Yeah.
And they also never kick off. They always onside kick. So it's crazy. And they have a high percentage of success with it.
Play the numbers.
That's why he does it. 1st and 10, Lions in a pistol formation. 2 running backs in the backfield. Dotson behind Landry. There's a snap. Handoff to Dotson. He follows Evan Smith, and the Dragon defense is there, and they're able to push him back for even a loss to about the 23. 2nd down.
Yeah, and Landry, he's sitting at a pretty good completion percentage right now. You'd like to see him, still try to throw that ball downfield and spread this defense out a little bit.
Yeah, I'd like to see him pull and take off around the end because they're really going after Dotson on the runs, as pretty much any defense should be. But it may have an opportunity for Landry to score it outside and get some big yardage.
I haven't seen many blitzes from the Dragon defense tonight, but the offensive line has held up pretty well for Landry, and he should have time to sit back there and find a receiver. And we're going to have a timeout on the field because the Lions running out of play clock, spending all that time in the huddle. And so we'll take the break with them. We'll stay here, rather, as we continue on in this first half. Lions trailing 21-7, 7:08 remaining. We get an update on any of those scores?
Yeah, let me pull those up real quick. Another game that was going on tonight was Cedar Park. They are leading right now 10-0 over Georgetown.
Georgetown just dropped one to Huddle as well, and so they're battling for their playoff lives.
Vista Ridge 15, Stony Point came back and put 7 on the board. Pflugerville is ahead of Connolly 7-0. Weiss is ahead of Elgin 7-3. Eastview 21, Bastrop 6. Vandergrift and McNeil are now tied at the end of the first quarter, 7-7. Let's see. Go down the list here. See if there's any other scores. We have Glen 7 and Cedar Creek 0.
The Lions come out in a pistol formation, 2nd and 12. Dotson, the running back, they send Evan Smith in motion. They fake to Dotson to the left side of the line, and Landry rolls and throws a pass to Weingart, and it's knocked down by Trey McCarty. Otherwise, the Lions might have had a first down there right at the sticks. It's going to be 3rd down now for Leander. Long conversion here. You don't want to turn the ball over on your side of the field, but you want to try to get this first down and keep this drive alive. You don't want to give the ball back to Round Rock this quickly with 7:03. Your defense needs a little bit of rest, even though that last drive by Round Rock was a one-play drive, because a lot of those defensive players are playing on offense as well. Pistol formation, Landry takes the snap. They hand to Dotson on the left side. He breaks through and drives his way over the 25 to about the 26 on the line sideline, where it'll be 4th and 9. Over there defensively, Ty Dillon for Round Rock, and so the Lions will bring out the punting unit. And Colin Sullivan has 2 touchdowns tonight, and he'll go back and receive this kick. Both of those touchdowns, long receptions, and he get a little bit of yak on the last one.
Yeah, and Gaiman here has no wind right now.
We'll see what he can do with the ball. A little bit of a high snap, is able to get it, and he kicks it straight up. Not really what he intended, and it hits Major Maiden in the back on the line, 45, and so that's where it'll be marked for the Dragons. And you almost, with that punt, just could have gone for it. I mean, it's about a 20-yard difference. Not even 20, about 18, so you got to bow up here defensively and try to get a turnover or a stop here. Of course, Dragons likely to play 4-down ball here. Seth Ford, the quarterback, in a pistol formation. The running back is still Israel Morgan. They fake to Morgan. Ford throws down the left sideline. The receiver.
He dropped it. He had it.
Sullivan had to come back for it. It allowed the line defenders to arrive right around the time of the ball, and Sullivan, distracted by those defenders, unable to get his fingertips on it. He had to go from full speed to pretty much a dead stop to wait on the ball.
Yeah, and they're liking that matchup right there with Sullivan and Jalen Jammer. They've been able to go to him all night, as we've seen with the score. You know, like you mentioned, he has 2 touchdowns already.
Well, you have a senior stud receiver, and then you got a sophomore defensive back who's still learning. They may have the same physical attributes, but the experience makes a difference. Quick screen to a receiver in the flat on the right side, and that's Jordan Smart, who fights his way for a gain of about 18 to the line, 28-yard line.
Yeah, he's a hard guy to bring down. He shows his leg strength, and every time he gets that ball.
Egglesey there on the tackle for the Lions. 1st and 10, pistol formation. Ford, the quarterback, has Morgan, the running back, just to his side. They bring a man in motion, and it is number 14 again, Smart, and they hand it to him. He's up the left seam and is spun down by Will Luth. No, that's Egglesey on the tackle, rather, at the 9-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Dragons there. And yeah, Smart showing he's got speed and vision. There's a snap, but a quick flag as they pitch to Smart going to the left, and he's able to cross the goal line. Likely to be a penalty, however. We'll see if it's, and they're going to say it's against Leander as Ford celebrates after hearing the referee tell the white hat that it's offsides. And so with 5:19, it's now 27-7 with a point after attempt coming up for the Dragons. Again, we're going to credit Harwick because he's the only kicker we have on our roster, but it could be another kid. We just used the roster that was provided by the Dragon coaching staff here. So point after, there's the snap. It's a high snap. Kicker or a holder picks it up and rolls to his right, and he's able to run in and pick up the 2-point conversion as the Lions caught off guard. It's now 29-7 with 5:19 remaining. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to Lion Football on SHN.
A big thank you goes out from the Leander Lions Football Booster Club to our 2 great platinum sponsors for their support of Leander Lions football this season. First, 9 Round Fitness, located at 2906 South Baghdad Road, right across the street from Leander High School. Call 9 Round at 512-843-3925. 9 Round, where your first 30-minute full-body workout is free. Look for them on Facebook. That's 9 Round. And Good Flow Plumbing. Call them at 512-501-2051 or find them online at goodflowplumbing.com. Good Flow Plumbing, backed by more than 50 years of industry experience in Austin, Good Flow Plumbing provides honest, knowledgeable plumbing service. The kind of service you can trust. Good Flow Plumbing, license M-37868. Thanks again for sponsoring Leander Lions football. And go Lions!
Welcome back. Kickoff here to the Lions. Back deep to receive for Leander is Aiden Parrott and number 21, Xavier Dotson.
With a name like Kalinowski, you're almost guaranteed to be a kicker.
Yeah, or a linebacker at a Midwest MAC team, like Toledo or something. So he'll step in here to kick off. Will Kalinowski. He gets toe to leather, and it's going to be to the up man right around the 17. That is Egglesey. Carries up over the 25 to the 26, where he's dropped, and the Lions will have it first down there. Tackle made by Tavori Donaldson. And so the Lions really got to come up with some kind of answer here, at the very least, to just eat up clock here with a little over 5 minutes, 5:13 to be exact here in the first half. Landry in a pistol as they come from the sideline. Dotson behind him, and looks like that may be Evan Smith and the H-back. 2 receivers on the right, and they bring Pare in motion. So those 2 receivers would now be on the short side of the field. Landry tries to hand it to Dotson, and there's miscommunication there. Loses the handle, is able to get back on it, but there's a loss on the play of 3 yards. Second down.
Yeah, they're just not in the sync on some of these plays.
We talked a little bit about it on the podcast, how Coach Price came in. The Lions have been running a modified veer the year before. 7-on-7 is here. You try to implement what you can, but the timing between the quarterback and the receivers is just not there, and it's really taken a little bit of time for the Lions to find that. And they found it a little bit here tonight. Pistol for Landry, takes the snap, fakes to Parrott, is flushed out. He's able to throw it down the left sideline away as he's pressured, and he gets it out of bounds, and it'll be third down. But the timing, it's still not where it needs to be, and so I think you expect that the timing between Garrett, Landry, and his receivers going into next season will be much tighter.
Yeah, and he was out last year, not playing
right.
in his quarterback position, so he himself is trying to just gain his own ground, being in that position, let alone having that rhythm and connection with his receivers.
Third and long for the Lions. Pistol formation. Landry takes the snap. Dotson quickly out of the backfield. Landry flushed to his left, and he has to tuck it and goes down right around the 25. There defensively, Alex Harris. And so, Leander.
Nope. Yeah, he's still down right now.
And so Leander will punt, but it looks like there's an injury. Did take a pretty good shot. It could be could be anything, but Lions will have it for a fourth down on their own 25, and so they'll likely bring out Eli Gaiman here to punt the ball away, and of course Sullivan will be back deep to receive that for the Dragons when we come back out onto the field and get this straightened out. Do we have any updates on scores or stats to provide the audience?
Yeah, let me pull up some of these scores real quick. We have an update. It is Cedar Park 10, Georgetown 3. Round Rock, of course, is here. And we have the score 29-7. 4 minutes left here in the first half. 22-7. Vista's on top of Stony Point. Pflugerville is on top of Connolly 7-0. Weiss 14, Elgin 3. Eastview is 28. Bastrop 13. Vandergrift is now up by 14 on top of McNeil, 21-7, and going to the marquee game in the area that everyone's talking about. Westlake 3, Lake Travis 0. 1:17 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, as we're sitting here, right now Round Rock's sitting at around 250 total yards of offense versus Leander's 131. We mentioned that time of possession earlier. Leander sitting at a little over 13 minutes compared to Round Rock 5 minutes. So there's a big score differential there, done all in 5 minutes of play.
Yeah, they made some big plays.
Up to 29 points for Round Rock. So, Leander's got to be able to match that. Hopefully they can get a good kickoff here and stop this from hurting any worse.
Gaiman gets the snap, is able to get a foot into it. Better punt this time. Sullivan fair catches it right at the 40 of Round Rock, and they'll have it there with 3:54 remaining in the half. The Lions will bring out the defensive unit and try to see if they can get a quick stop here and potentially another possession before half.
Yeah, and at the very least, you're just trying to keep the Round Rock Dragons out of the end zone to eliminate any further pain to the score here. So,
like we said, it's a pretty good team here, the Round Rock Dragons, and I don't think they played Vista yet, and that's going to be a pretty good football game. I'm not 100% sure about that. But we've got a quick snap and a handoff to number 22, Israel Morgan. He picks up about 8 yards. And so the ball will be marked at the Dragon 48. It'll be 2nd and 2, and the Dragons crank the tempo up. Seth Ford in a pistol with Morgan behind him. 2 receivers to the top of the formation. There's the snap, and they hand to Morgan straight ahead. He's up the right seam. He cuts in at the 40 and carries over the 30 all the way down to the Lion 28. And you don't want to give up big runs like that. Clock continues to move with 3:20. Ball spotted at the 29. Ford snaps it, and he falls off a really awkward pass that went backwards. And so Sullivan able to get on it to recover it for the Dragons, but it'll be a 5-yard loss all the way to the 34. And it just looked like he was throwing a knuckleball.
Yeah, it looked like the receiver was going to get wrapped up pretty quickly either way.
Sullivan's not easy to bring down, though.
But a good break for Leander.
3 receivers here to the bottom of the formation for Ford. two to the top. He takes the snap in the empty backfield, hits Morgan, one of those three receivers on the left side, and he carries it all the way
down
inside the 25, and a flag comes flying in from the end zone. And it looks like the first indication is going to be a hold against the Dragons. So a spot foul, if it's where the flag landed, will push the ball back to the 36.
Yeah, it looked like Brennan Hansen had somebody's hand all up in his face as he maybe got poked in the eye.
They called a hold, so they're going to move it from the 25 to the 35. It'll stay second down for the Dragons here, and so the Lions able to get a little bit of that yardage they gave up on that last play back because of the hold.
Well, and if we've seen, history has repeated itself several times with this, this situation where the opposing team has gone for the big play after these penalties and have been able to take advantage of Leander.
And Ford takes the snap, fakes a handoff, runs straight ahead because of the pressure by the Lions. He stiff arms the line, is able to carry it to the 22 out of bounds, forced out there by number 9 of the Lions, and that, of course, is Bryce Allen. But he's short of the yardage needed for a first down, but it's 3rd and about 3 now for the Dragons. They got it at their own, or at the line 22.
Yeah, Seth Ford doing his best Sam Ellinger impression with his 2 stiff arms on that run.
He gets the pistol formation. He quickly pitches to the tailback, who is
ball's out,
and there's a fumble.
It's on the ground.
And there's a
Leander had it for a second.
It came
loose
out twice. And there's a stack of people on it at the 5.
Looks like Round Rock's going to keep the ball. Wait for the official
and there's
signal on this.
Pulling guys off the pile.
Yeah.
And they're going to say first down for the Dragons.
Real close for the Leander Lions. They had the hand on the ball. Looked like it was going to go their way and make that turnover that they needed to help this quarter out. But Round Rock maintains possession.
First and goal from the 5 for the Dragons. They're up by 22 on the Lions now. Pistol formation. There's the snap. We got a new quarterback. No, that's the same quarterback. And he hands to Morgan straight ahead, who carries it in for the Dragon touchdown with 2:07. It's 35-7. And so the Lions are going to have to do something with the ball here in the final 2 minutes to try to get some kind of answer going into the half. They came out gangbusters and woke Round Rock up because Round Rock thought they were going to just be in for a cakewalk. So there's the snap, hold, extra point, kick is up. And it is good by Kalinowski, and is now 36-7 with the 2:07. We'll take a quick break. Stay tuned to Lion Football on SHN Sports.
The Leander Lions Football Booster Club wants to recognize the following Lion faithful for their generosity this season. At the red level, Dan and Rachel Bumgartner, Daniel and Kat Dupre, Dave and Tracy Nordstrom, and David and Robin Tillman. At the white level, Lucy Belter. And at the Lion level, Brian and Jessica Campbell, the Shoto family, John and Denise Christensen, Louie and Ray Egglesey, Russ and Kathy Gaiman, Jason and Gina Gordon, Katie and Justin Hanner, Rich and Patricia Hensley, Kyle and Maria Kennedy, Earl and Janice Lott, Gary and Ann McDaniel, Mike and Sandy Slater, Roger and Laura Smith, and Darren and Jessica Webster. Again, thank you so much for sponsoring Leander Lions football this season. And go Lions!
Welcome back to Round Rock High School here as the Dragons get ready to kick off to the Lions here with 2:07 left in the half. Kalinowski will kick back deep to receive for Leander, number 22, Xavier Dotson. And I'm not getting a number over there, but it looks like to me that is Joseph Choto.
Yeah, 26 on the far side it is.
Choto, pretty quick defensive back. Also plays a little bit of slot receiver for the Lions. Former quarterback on the sub-varsity. So Kalinowski puts his foot into the ball, and it's going to be a short kick fielded by Egglesey at the 15. He runs across the field.
Oh, huge block.
And he gets up on the near side. Up, he was finally able to cut up at the 25. He ran 50 yards across field to get about 7 yards upfield, and the Lions will have it first down on their own 31.
Yeah, great block by Dotson coming back as he was coming across the field and knocked one of the Dragons into another one. Both of them fell down and able to spring them for about another 10 or 15 yards.
Yeah, the key there is you just got to make sure that blocker can see you, because they will throw a flag if the blocker is doesn't. You're not in his field of vision.
That's what keeps you blocking. Plays like that keep you blocking.
makes you like it. Pistol formation. Dotson the running back.
Pare's in.
Pare the quarterback. So Landry's still out. Of course, this is the first possession since the last time he played. They hand off to Dotson straight ahead, and he carries it for a gain of 3 to the 34, and the clock ticking at 1:50. Pare runs to the sideline to get the play. Of course, the play clock is at 30 seconds at the moment. Pare having to rely on his play card on his wrist. That reminds me of youth football.
Yep.
Of course, they use those at all levels, but the offenses get more and more complicated. Pare in the pistol has Dotson behind him and Evan Smith to his left in the H-back position, a receiver on either side of the formation. Takes the snap, hands off to Dotson. Dotson is kind of a run blitz coming, and he's tackled for a loss. He's not real happy about the effort by his offensive line as Alex Harris and Tyreek Donaldson meet in the backfield and wrap him up for a loss. 3rd down and 13.
Yeah, they're going to be keying on him now that Landry isn't in at this moment. But Pare's pretty quick. I mean, I'd love to see a couple misdirect. Well, we got 50 seconds left, 1 or 2 more plays, and that'll be it. But, I mean, they're going to be attacking him, so you've got to do some type of misdirection, some sort of screens or, traps or something.
Well, pistol formation for Pare, 36 seconds and counting, 5 on the play clock. Takes the snap, and they lose it, and Pare is able to scoop it up and run and get back to the original line of scrimmage at the 31 before he's wrapped up. It'll bring up 4th down. There defensively for the Dragons is McCarty. And so the clock is going to burn down. The Lions won't even bother punting, although they may try to run one final play. Doesn't look like they're going to. And we'll go to half. And the Lions will trail. Do you want to update any scores before we head to half?
Yeah, let me pull some of those up real quick here.
Just a reminder, folks, that we're not doing a video tonight. We had some camera issues, but we will bring you the audio through the end of the game, so stay tuned. Go ahead, Mark.
Around the area, Cedar Park is up on Georgetown 17-3, right about halftime. Vista Ridge is up 29-14 over Stony Point. 10:55 left in the second. Pflugerville 7-0 over Connolly. Weiss is up 21-10 over Elgin. Vandergrift is now taken, well, they still have a 14-point lead, 21-7 over McNeil. About 1 minute left till halftime. And the other score here, it is still 3-0 Westlake over Lake Travis. 8:55 left in the first half.
Well, we've got a long half because it's a Round Rock homecoming, so we'll be back on the air for the second half in about 27 minutes. So stay tuned, or come back, obviously, and listen to the second half. Lions trail now, but as I was just tweeted at by Lions superfan, we're a second half team, so stay tuned.
Georgetown coaches are about 6 inches away from me through this glass, and if I had some erase markers, I could draw it up on the glass here.
Well, let's see if Georgetown runs the annexation of Puerto Rico here with the final play of the half. 6 seconds to go. Ball half the Cedar Park 43. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 on the far for Georgetown. Actually, everybody for Cedar Park up within about 15 yards of the line of scrimmage. Herman rolling to his right, looking to throw to the end zone. He will chunk it. Never set his feet. Ball is tipped around, falls to the ground, and that will end the first half. So your score after 24 minutes of football here at Birkelbach Field in Georgetown. The Eagles trail the Cedar Park Timberwolves by a score of 17-3. We're going to step aside for just a second. When we come back, we'll have Miss Karen Crosby with us to talk about her great organization here in town, The Locker. And we'll continue after that with scores from around the area. kick you over to SHN Football Friday and much more. Halftime coming your way, 17-3. Cedar Park leads Georgetown. This is Georgetown football on SHN Sports.
And now, your hometown Fighting Tigers. Is this what you hear at your school's athletic events? Has school spirit disappeared from your halls? Well, Waterboy Graphics can't fix the depth along the offensive line, but what they can do is give the look of your athletic facilities a boost that will bring the pride back to students, teachers, and fans. Replace the fading 80s mural in the gym with a customized slick series of graphics that scream school pride. In the locker room before the big game on a Friday, surround the team with images of what it means to be a part of that elite team. From the fields to the courts.
Welcome back to the Georgetown Jewelry Broadcast Studio, coming to you live from Georgetown, Texas. We were just listening live into the game just down the way over at Birkelbach Field at GISD Athletic Complex, where it has reached halftime. That was Brad Tillery and Kelly Duvall on the call there. Cedar Park leading at halftime, 17-3. We knew their defense would be stout. We knew their offense would put up points, and it's kind of been the story of the game so far. Georgetown unable to convert on a goal line. Black Rain defense holding true. They did get the field goal, but gave up another score in after.
Unfortunately, this is how it's been for Georgetown this season. Just offensively, they can drive the ball down the field, but they can't punch it in when it counts. And I hate to be frank about it, but you just got to call it how it's been going this year. And so right now, down 17-3, their season really starting to hinge on the brink here. And we'll find out what the Eagles are made out of come the second half of play, because they're going to need to turn it on. And I don't think there's very many people out there that are currently listening to the game that would argue with that assessment right now. But, I mean, Cedar Park, always a top team in not just the region but across the state. So we already knew it was going to be a tough contest for the Eagles going into it. But, you do not want to start off district play at 0-2. And it's starting to look that way out in 11-5 AD1 for our Eagles. But hopefully they can make some adjustments at halftime, slow down the offense of Cedar Park, which they've kind of done so far in the first half. More importantly, get that offense clicking here in the second half. Why don't we go ahead and just take a look at the Grand Endeavor home scoreboard update and give you an idea of what's going on around the Central Texas area. So we mentioned before, many games on the SHN network this evening, as we have Round Rock beating Leander 36-7 in the second quarter. McNeil and Vandergrift in the second quarter. This is a surprising score, as McNeil winless in District 13-6A. It's 7-7. I was not expecting to have that score going into the half. Again, like we mentioned before, it's a cold night here in Central Texas, so there's a big opportunity to where that cold could be affecting the passing game in Vandergrift.
Some of the non-favored teams may have that to their advantage.
Yeah, so Vandergrift struggling tonight. Stony Point, one of those undefeated teams in 13-6A that is struggling as well this evening, as Vista Ridge leads 29-14 as they're getting ready to go into the half. We've already mentioned Cedar Park and Georgetown, which many of you are listening in at the moment. If you're not and you're just listening to us or watching us on YouTube, it is 17-3 in favor of the Timberwolves. Little brother, Eastview, right now cruising against Bastrop in 13-5A Division II action as the Patriots lead 35-13. Bastrop in trouble of falling to 0-3 in district play. Talking about SHN sports teams, we have Cedar Creek battling against Glen, and it's a low-scoring affair as Glen currently pitching the shutout 9-0 over the Iron Eagles. Elgin and Wise out in Elgin. This team from Wise, they've been impressive in 13-5A Division II as they remain undefeated, 2-0 in district play, looking to go 3-0 as they lead 21-10. We mentioned this before. Brenham just continues to roll this season in 13-5A D2. They lead Marble Falls, who remains winless, 28-7. The Battle of Pflugerville. I already mentioned this out in 11-5 AD1 that I thought that tonight this is going to be Colony's night. That has not been the case so far. With about halfway through the second quarter of play, it is Pflugerville, the Panthers, who lead the Connolly squad 7-0. In the Battle of the Lake, out in 25-6A, Westlake just ahead of Lake Travis, and I mean just barely. 3-0 our score out in Lake Travis. You know, we talked about the wind conditions here tonight. You can only imagine how much that is magnified by playing out right on the lake, because there's no trees out there.
Right.
They get big gusts, and it's much cooler.
The water gets cold, everything gets cold.
Exactly. So I can only imagine how much colder it can be at Lake Travis tonight. So both those teams pass happy offenses. So far, it looks like they're both struggling this evening when it comes to slinging the ball around. Hayes looking to remain undefeated as they currently lead Austin Highs out in Buda 13-7. Del Valle continues to rampage through their season as they lead Lehman 13-0. And then LBJ over at Nelson Field trying to defend the east side against Dripping Springs. Right now, they're behind 3-0. We have Northeast Early College High School taking on Crockett. Still, we have the score at 0-0. And right now, your McAllen Knights are looking good against the Novato Vikings as they lead 21-0, Steven.
Oh, Knights. Nighttime. Finally,
Nighttime.
it might be nighttime.
Exactly what they were looking for. Let's see. Thursday night scores. We'll run through some quick ones here for you. 31-21 win for Cedar Ridge as 13-6A kind of gets jumbled up. I mean, there's a lot of really good teams in 13-6A this year, so it's going to be interesting to see who finishes in the top 4 to make the playoffs. Maynard barely beats Rouse 20-18 as Rouse remains winless this season, but that was a great effort by the Raiders. San Antonio Christian keeping Hyde Park winless as well, and just barely 26-25. The SHN Thursday night AISD game of the week, it was a fun one. Anderson barely beating Aikens, keeping their playoff hopes alive in 25-6A as they won 26-21, and then Seguin beating the Travis Rebels 50-7. You know, Stephen, again, there's so many possible scores that we can talk about going on tonight. You have Liberty Hill playing host to Fredericksburg. It's a 7-6 game out there. Cuero, who won the state championship last year just down the road off of I-35, playing host to Bandera. That game is tied at 7-7. The Belleville-Smithville game, I mean, that's a classic Texas rivalry game right there. It's 7-7 there. Beeville-Jones is playing Lavernia. I thought Lavernia was going to have a easier time, but again, another classic high school Texas football matchup there. Beeville-Jones and Lavernia, so 14-14 out there tonight. Taylor playing host to Canyon Lake, where Canyon Lake leads 7-0. LaGrange over Brookshire Royal 15-6. Caldwell and Giddings, that one's been a knockout brawl so far as they remain scoreless at 0-0 in the second quarter. And I told you about Geronimo Novato, Stephen, earlier as they lead Llano 14-0. Mejia, which is on the SHN network, they were able to tie it up against Fairfield. So that game out there is 7-7. Cameron Yo, unfortunately, showing their dominance against Gerald. They're ahead already, 21-7. Rockdale blinking Lago Vista in the second quarter thus far, 17-0. The game between Troy and the Bumblebees from Little River Academy. That game at 7-7. And, I'm sure our friends out in Malakoff are going to have another good time tonight as they currently lead in the second quarter against Live Oak Cliff, 21-7. Thorn over Thrall, 7-0. Sound Saba against Gold White. They lead 28-0. Granger currently behind Iola. I wonder how, if Granger can turn it on. We've seen them be able to come back from further down this season already. Flatonia and Burden.
What's the score in that one? The Granger game?
It's 8-0 Iola.
Okay.
Flatonia leads
so they
Burden.
Kick off after the delay.
Oh yes, yeah. They get the. That's right. They were on that 30-minute delay. They did get kicked off. Flatonia leads Burden 28-0, and then Bracketville over Mason. Mason's kind of struggled this year out in Class 2A. As they're behind 8-7. I believe that does it for at least everything that's important going on right now. Well, besides the Kylene Temple game, where Temple's ahead 21-6. But I think that gives us really great coverage of everything that could possibly be happening within about a 100-mile radius.
And just to add one last kind of cool point to that, tonight we usually have Gerald on our network. They are not broadcasted tonight. Wally Harmon, who always does such a great job, he's out of town this week. But and also Coach Davidson. Congratulations, Coach Amos Davidson of Gerald the Cougars. He's his wife is in labor and he's having his kid. So
Oh, wow.
he's not at the game either. But we'll provide the score updates for the Gerald game. But
It's a big night for Coach, you
Yeah.
know, all the way around. So, you know, I can only imagine, like, I'm glad I'm not in his shoes. I'm
Right,
not going to
yeah.
lie. That's a
No,
lot of
it's
stress to go
yeah,
through
for
tonight. And, you know, good luck to him and his wife and his new family that's coming on board. You know.
Yeah. We also want to welcome in the Georgetown Eagle audience who they were at halftime and they just had that. They got their interview with Karen Crosby, you know, obviously who runs the Locker organization, Mason Crosby, Green Bay Packer kicker's mom, and they who went to Georgetown and so active in the community. And
we heard her last week at
last
Birkelbach
week.
too.
Yeah,
you know, cheering on for the Patriots side.
Right.
So, you know,
So-
in the end, Georgetown, right?
Yeah, for sure, and appreciate everything she does around here, and for all the kids that get the benefits of her organization with the Locker and everything. But yeah, they joined us just now, and of course that game is at half is 17-3, Cedar Park on top at halftime. We just covered that, and let's see if we can.
I kind of feel like we're doing them a disservice if they just tuned in with us now and they
I know
we just gave you the score update. I mean, I don't mind running it back, especially for those viewers that got sent over to us. And I can give you the abridged version. There's some big games.
Top matchups this week.
You know, there's some
a lot.
There's some good matchups this week. We'll go through it again real quick. Let me just give it one more refresh just to double check, see if we had anybody else score within the Crosby interview. Yeah, because a lot of these games have finally gone to halftime. So all these games at the half as well. Out in 13-6A, you have Round Rock over Leander on SHN Sports 36-7. Vandergrift currently got back in the driver's seat. They were tied with McNeil earlier, but then able to score 2 more touchdowns and lead 21-7 at the half. If you are just joining us here on SHN Sports on YouTube, here from the Georgetown Jewelry Studios, or if you are currently with this game, you might already know the score, but Cedar Park is ahead of Georgetown 17-3. Over on SHN Sports also is the Glen versus the Cedar Creek Iron Eagle squad, as the Iron Eagles are currently behind Glen 9-0. Brenham ahead of Marble Falls 28-7 out in 13-5A D2, and then out in 11-5A Division 1, the Battle of Pflugerville between Connolly and Pflugerville. It is the Panthers who lead 7-0. Cougars still searching for their first win of the year. Vista Ridge and Stony Point. I mean, Vista Ridge was dominating this game as they get ready to go toward the half, but Stony Point, the Tigers, there's a reason why they're undefeated this year as they have come roaring back. It is a tight contest, but Vista Ridge still leads 29-21. We're going to have to keep our eye on that game later on in this evening. We mentioned little brother Eastview. They still lead the Bastrop Bears out in 13-5A D2 as that game is played off of East 71, where the Bears are currently behind the Patriots 35-13. Wise on the road against Elgin, who lead 21-10 as they get ready to go into the half. And then out in Lake Travis, the Battle of the Lakes. This is going to basically determine who wins 25-6A, as most would say. Lake Travis able to get a touchdown here as the second quarter is coming to an end. They now have the lead, 7-3. Hayes, one of the few teams in 25-6A, not Lake Travis or Westlake, to be undefeated, and I can't say that happens too often, as the Rebels trying to outpace the Maroons of Austin High, as Austin High fighting to keep their playoff hopes alive, but they are fading fast and they need the win tonight. They are behind 13-7. Del Valle, the Cards, they have been stacked in their favor so far this year. The only losses they have suffered are against teams that they were predicted to lose to, but they looked like they were primed to win out the rest of 25-6A as they lead Lehman 13-0. LBJ is still behind Dripping Springs out in Nelson Field as they are currently at the deficit, 3-0. Crockett and Northeast Early College High, which used to be Reagan High School, that game's still at 0-0. And again, we mentioned your Knights of McCallum Stephen, they lead Novato High School, which used to be Lanier, 21-0. Thursday night game, Cedar Ridge beats Hendrickson 31-21. Manor over Rouse 20-18. San Antonio Christian just edges out Hyde Park 26-25. Seguin beats Travis 50-7. And then the AISD Thursday night game of the week on SHN Sports. You can go back and catch the replay, and we might show you some of the replay later on tonight here on our YouTube hosted show. It was Anderson keeping their playoff hopes alive out in 25-6A with a much-needed win in the district play as they were able to defeat Aikens 26-21. That would give us a short version of what's going on here this evening.
Yeah, you mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. I mean, there's just a lot of good games. Like, just as a football fan, so many cool matchups to keep track of tonight.
Yeah, and there's also so many that I can even talk about that aren't necessarily in the area, but just around the state of Texas. Again, the battle out in West Texas between Odessa and Permian. I mean, that is just classic Texas high school football rivalry games. And those are when you talk about Friday Night Lights, you think about, the whole town is there watching that game. That is one of those games. And unfortunately, we just keep on growing sometimes in the case where we have to make a new high school. And I think some of those matchups lose a little bit of the luster just because, the communities are so big now that you don't have necessarily the whole city, but you still almost have the same amount of people there. I don't know. It's just strange. Nothing wrong with having more competition, obviously. It gives other kids a chance to make the playoffs and such, but it definitely kind of my high school, my town hasn't really recovered from the whole, now we have two high schools thing. It's still still taking some adjustment to get used to.
Yeah, and just to go back to, we were talking about how at halftime of the Georgetown game, Brad was able to interview Karen Crosby, and we have some pictures from over the week when Mason Crosby came in. He signed the new Georgetown ladder truck. He signed it. Was in town, obviously the Green Bay Packers kicker, and came and visited the Georgetown Fire Department, and so we'll try to share those later in the show. But it's cool that obviously his parents obviously heavily involved, but it's him as well. Even during the season, man, he's kicking field goals last weekend, and he's in town giving love to the Georgetown Fire Department. And our thanks to David England, who's a firefighter and also helps us cover the Georgetown Eagles all season, and he helps out with SH in a lot of ways. Doppler Dave sending us that information and content, so we'll look forward to showing that a little later in the show. And while we're have these audiences at halftime, I want to remind everyone, they can't see our screen right now necessarily, but feel free to call us, text us at our hotline, which is 512-508-8388. We're here in week 7 of SHN Sports Football Friday. We'd love to hear from you.
Don't forget to tell them the Twitter, though. I mean, everybody got Twitter now, right?
Yeah. So our Twitter, obviously, at SHN Sports. You can contact me directly or Justin directly. Me at Probably Strong, Justin at The Smash Simmons. Mm-hmm. And, we'd love to hear what's going on in your games or anything you want to talk about relating to high school football and things going on this weekend. Obviously, chilly weather has arrived. Who knows how long it'll be this chilly for a little bit, but it kind of seems like for the time being, man, you never know with Texas, but we kind of skipped over fall and went straight to winter, man. It's a little chilly.
No, we'll be right back to regular 80-degree, 70, 90-degree weather next week. Honestly, This is just abnormality.
Yeah, obviously, like with ACL going on this weekend, everyone that went to weekend 1, man, is sweating all weekend, brutal. Everyone there tonight shivering and bundled up.
I know. I'm going to say I'm glad that I wasn't out last week, and this week sounds a lot better, honestly.
Yeah. And honestly, I didn't go last. I am going Sunday, but I'm glad I didn't go last week, and I'm glad that I didn't go today or tomorrow, because it's like the opposite, man. I struggle in cold weather, and Sunday is going to be nice. It'd be a little chilly, but
but it's not going to be like it was tonight.
Oh
yeah,
I'm not jealous.
I'm not jealous not being out there tonight. That's for sure. The studio here at the Georgetown Jewelry Studio, much comfier than being out in the cold.
Oh yeah,
that is for sure. Still trying to get some updates here, just seeing if anything else comes up but a lot of these games now at halftime, looks like McCallum was able to put one more score on the board as they lead Navarro 28-0. Beeville Jones, and Lavernia. We're talking about classic matchups. There's a whole slew of them tonight. 28-14 Beeville. Canyon Lake is beating Travis 20-7. Bandera, I mean, this is weird because Cuero is the defending state champions, but everybody has to rebuild every now and then. They're down 14-7. Belleville and Smithville. That one's a hard-hitting clash. 14-7 Belleville. LaGrange and Brookshire Royalists. The Leopards lead 29-12. And then finally, we got some scores on the board out in Giddings as Caldwell and Giddings, that battle of Texas East 71 is going out there tonight. 7-6 Hornets over the Buffs. Currently, that means Caldwell in the lead. Geronimo Navarro still ahead of Lano, 20-0. And Mejia, on SHN Sports, we were behind in this game. They've come back and retaken the lead. They lead 15-7. And Cameron Yo right now just kind of stomping on Gerald, 35-0. Big night for the Gerald head coach, but unfortunately his team.
They need him.
I think they can use him just a little bit too.
Baby needs him more, probably.
Family comes first.
Yeah.
Rockdale and Lago Vista. It's the Tigers who lead the Vikings 24-14. Troy and Little River Academy is tied up at 14, and then Malakoff. I thought this was going to be a tougher game for them, honestly, this week, but that has not been the case. 35-0 over Live Oak Cliff for Malakoff. Mason still trailing Bracketville 14-7. San Saba over Goldwaite 34-0. Now we have Thorndale and Thrall. Thorndale leads 14-0 as well. And then, we had a score in that Iola Granger game, and now they removed the score. I wonder if that was sometimes these scores do get updated by just fans. It could have been a quick score that was actually a penalty, but now I'm showing that Iola Granger game back at 0-0. So we'll get a true update here.
Yeah, we'll get in touch with Travis at the end of that game and find out what's going on over in Granger. We know, obviously they're on that delay, so maybe it was a missed score, and they may not even be. I could try to figure out if they're playing live right now. I'll try to get in touch with Travis on that.
But I know there's a lot of games that are going on. You can always reach out to us on Twitter at SHN Sports. Let us know what games you are excited about. I know not everybody has a rooting interest necessarily who may be tuning in tonight. There's some neutrals out there, so if you don't have anybody to root for, but you do enjoy Texas high school football, and I know in this state many people do, let us know what game that you are excited to be watching, or if you are listening in on another SHN game that has thrown you to us during halftime. Let us know which game you're watching, why you're watching it, who you rooting for. We would love to hear from you. It can get quite lonely in here without the conversation just between us two. So just use the hashtag SHN Football Friday. We'll pull it up on our Twitter at SHN Sports. And if you want to send a shout out to anybody, take the time to do so now. You can always use this clip later on, and it will last for a really long time.
So just a quick update on the Granger game. Got in touch with Travis. It's Travis Sessoms over there, and he said they're waiting on the guys to return with the transformers, so they haven't.
Okay, unfortunately we had an updated score that was incorrectly updated for that game. Let's see, we have Goliad leading Luling at halftime, 7-6. I mean, Goliad, Luling, just kind of right on the cusp of our Central Texas area that we try to look at. Pleasanton over Gonzales, that game, and just a little bit north of San Antonio, but not by much. We're trying to keep up to date, seeing what else is going on out there. I mean, there's just so much tonight, folks.
I want to take a second to I don't know if she's watching. I know Gerald isn't broadcast tonight specifically, but Malik Davis's mom, he's a player with Gerald. When we started this early on in the beginning of the season, we kind of had a preview show and we were giving out T-shirts. She has not received her T-shirt, and I just want to let you know, I'll reply to you right now too. we'll get that to you. I know you asked us about it. I don't have any on me, so I've been trying to get in touch with Rob, but obviously, we're all busy people. Rob, as he said last week, he's not active on his phone from Thursday through Sunday or whatever, preparing for the Sam Houston State University and all the games that we have over the weekend. But I promise you, I will get a shirt. I will get a couple shirts, and I'll get that to you.
I don't mind the interaction, though. I'm sorry that we have not gotten your shirt out.
Yeah, she texted us earlier today, and I had already reached out to Rob a couple weeks ago, and I just asked him hey, have we gotten heard of the shirts yet? And he didn't reply. So, but I'm telling you right now, I will make sure that happens. And
for sure.
Whether it's
and now you have proof that he just said that.
Yeah.
So make sure he makes
hold
it
me
happen.
to it. Yeah, but I'll try to get that to you. I just wanted to make sure that was put out there. I know we talked about we talked to Travis. I told him, man, like you said, a Friday Night Lights style. Pull some cars up and then play through the headlights over in Granger. He's like,
I mean, come on. There's got to be some boys out there in Granger that have some big trucks, those big 4x4s with the dock lights and everything else that comes with them. I'm sure they have those trucks out there. I know because I drive through things like that to get to Austin.
It's just going to get colder, man, to get the game going.
Oh, man, that's just it, too. You don't want to have to be out there all late tonight. I mean, if it's 8:30 and they haven't kicked off yet, I mean, are they just planning to play on with a running clock this evening, or that game's not going to end until after midnight? I mean, luckily,
at least, we'll have a game to talk about after 11.
Well, the thing that's interesting though is that that is a district game, so it has to be played.
Right.
I mean, they could postpone it to tomorrow just because they do have Saturday in their pocket. But man, if I was one of those teams, I do not want that game postponed. I want to play tonight. I'm ready to go tonight. That's how I would think about it as a player. You're ready to go that evening.
Yeah, and it's not
lost a playoff game because of that.
Yeah, and it's not about there's lightning, rain everywhere. It's just lights. Get the lights on. Also, I was just gonna say, I know we have viewers from all over the nation, all over the world. Anyone can tune in to YouTube, stuff like that. But if you are tuning in and keeping up with Texas high school football, and you haven't been in Texas, especially Central Texas, the last week or so, you're out of town. I know that I saw someone that on one of the YouTube broadcasts we have, he was saying he's in California right now. He's been there all week. Dude 949 on YouTube. He was saying he's been in California all week. He didn't. So just to put it in perspective for those who haven't been here, especially the last 2 days, we literally had a high last night of 95 or whatever, and in a course of less than 12 hours, really overnight last night at about 3:30, almost 4 a.m. Cold front blew in, and you said cold front. It was a cold front. We had a high today, as you said earlier, of about 45, 47 maybe, if you're lucky. And that obviously the sun's gone down, temperature's getting cooler. It's been an extreme shift. It's not a 10-degree difference or whatever. It's been completely. It's classic Texas, and but it's for the Thursday to Friday switch. Those guys that played last night in that Anderson game that we had.
But it wasn't cold last night.
Exactly, it's a completely different environment than what's going on at House Park tonight and all around these stadiums down the street at Berkeley.
Yeah, I would hate to be out there tonight. I know it would probably be even worse to be actually in the stands this evening, just because the wind chill that has been suffering throughout the day. You walked out of the house, you could feel it. You talk about home field advantage. I really don't feel like anybody's really going to have much of one tonight, just because of the weather conditions. Teams that are going to pass happy teams, strong pass.
Welcome back to Round Rock High School. The homecoming ceremonies are just over for the Dragons, and they actually had one of their offensive linemen, I believe it was Brian Evans, crowned king of their homecoming court. And it's 36-7 here as we get ready to open the second half.
Yeah, we're coming into this game, or the second half, with Round Rock sitting at over 300 yards of total offense. Leander still sitting a little over 130. Time of possession is lopsided towards Leander, not indicative of the score. Leander is sitting around 17 minutes to Round Rock 6.
Well, a lot of that has to do with the pace of the offenses. Round Rock not hurried, but once they have a big play, the rest of that drive seems to, as we said, get cranked up to 11 on the dial. And they're able to have been able to have some big plays and score quickly while the Lions Huddle try to slow the game down a little bit and have had success offensively, but haven't had but just a couple of drives, one big play and a couple of moderately long drives.
Yeah, that one big play, 91-yard run, touchdown run from number 21, Xavier Dotson. He's done that multiple times. Look for him to maybe break one here in the second half. Round Rock's going to get the ball first, of course, so this defense is going to have to come out fighting for this Leander Lions football team.
Of course, back to receive Colin Sullivan, the big offensive weapon here tonight for the Dragons. Of course, they're pretty loaded, and Sullivan will take the kick at the goal line. He runs straight ahead, past the 15, 20, 25, 30, breaks the tackle at the 35, a couple more tackles, and he's wrapped up around the 47 of Round Rock. Nice return straight ahead there on the stop for the Lions, Lucas Flores.
Yeah, and from as the bird flies, great V formation that was formed there by the runback of the Round Rock Dragons.
He can't really run a wedge anymore, but that's about as close to a wedge as you can get. And legally have a nice return. And so Seth Ford comes back in as the quarterback for the Dragons. They're not comfortable with the lead they have here at 29 points with the Lions, and so they want to see if they can add some more. The running back, number 22, Morgan, and they give it to Morgan off the left side, and he drives his feet forward. Nice gain of about 8 yards to the Lion 45. Smith there on the stop for Leander along with Sarpong, and so it'll be 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, these runners for Round Rock, they do a great job of keeping their feet moving. They're constantly, and they're doing really good about having patience and stay behind their blocks.
Yeah, Morgan's been a bit of a workhorse for them, but they're able to use Smart in a running capacity as well. He comes in motion. They hand to Morgan straight ahead. Used Smart as a bit of a decoy there, and Morgan carries it up over the 40 to the line 37 where he's wrapped up by Dotson. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dragons at the line 37. And they didn't come up with the tempo here, although it looks like the offense wanted to. They're waiting on the call from the coaching staff. And so Ford, pistol formation, takes the snap, fakes to Morgan, drops straight back, throws down the left seam. He's got a receiver open, and the catch is made. He stopped shy of the goal line, and that's Tyler Clifton on the reception. And then he's stopped by Andre Burt of the Lions. It'll be 1st and goal for the Dragons from the 1, and the tempo comes quickly as they set up. Ford takes the snap, hands to Morgan straight ahead. He's tripped up before he reaches the goal line, so no gain on the play, 2nd down and goal.
Yeah, Evan Smith came up and able to get a hand on him, tripped him up with some other Lions, just kept him out.
And there's a late flag thrown by the judge standing over the football, and it is a unsportsmanlike conduct called against the Lions, which will give them about a half yard. I guess somebody said something to the referee that he did not take kindly.
Yeah, they moved the ball 3 inches.
So 1st and goal now instead of 2nd and goal, and they hand to Morgan. He's able to poke it in right behind left guard for another Round Rock Dragon touchdown with 10:09 remaining. It's 42-7, point after touchdown coming up shortly. That, of course, will be brought. The kicker, Kolanowski, will come out to make that kick. His holder, William Lane. And snap, and the hold is down. The kick is up. And the point after attempt is good. It is 43-7 with 10:09 remaining. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Leander Lion Football on SHN Sports.
The Leander Lions Football Booster Club wants to recognize the following Lion faithful for their generosity this season. At the red level, Dan and Rachel Bumgartner, Daniel and Kat Dupre, Dave and Tracy Nordstrom, and David and Robin Tillman. At the white level, Lucy Belter. And at the lion level, Brian and Jessica Campbell, the Shoto family, John and Denise Christensen, Louie and Ray Egglesey, Russ and Kathy Gaiman, Jason and Gina Gordon, Katie and Justin Hanner, Rich and Patricia Hensley, Kyle and Maria Kennedy, Earl and Janice Lott, Gary and Ann McDaniel, Mike and Sandy Slater, Roger and Laura Smith, and Darren and Jessica Webster. Again, thank you so much for sponsoring Leander Lions football this season. And go Lions!
Welcome back as Round Rock gets ready to kick off after scoring a touchdown on their opening drive of the second half to extend their lead. 10:09 left here in the third period. Kalinowski will come out to kick back deep to receive for Leander, Xavier Dotson, and it looks like Joseph Choto is back there as well. The lefty puts his foot into it, and it's going to go out of bounds at the 20, and so the Lions will either require, well, it looks like there's a second flag down, so let's see what, if there's a second penalty, because that could be for the same infraction of kicking the ball out of bounds. We'll hear what the White Hat has to say. So we have a false start on Round Rock, and so the Lions will just tack on 5 yards.
Yeah, let me jump into some scores
30.
here.
Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, Cedar Park 17-3 over Georgetown. We have Stony Point is catching up to Vista Ridge. Vista's leading 29-23, and I'll get a couple more after this play.
Parrott remains the quarterback for the Lions as they open the second half. Dotson, the running back, pistol formation. Evan Smith in the H-back role in the backfield. 2 receivers, 1 on either side of the formation. Parrott takes the snap. He hands to Dotson on that left side behind. Smith and Dotson, man, lowers his shoulder. Didn't run like Dickerson on that run as he plows for about 11 and picks up a first down on that left side of the line, offensive line.
Yeah, and Evan Smith, the big contributing factor to that big run.
A couple other quick scores. Vandergrift is up by 14, 21-7 over McNeil. And the other score that we've been talking about tonight, Lake Travis 10, Westlake 3, halftime.
Wow. Shotgun formation. Parrott still the quarterback. Takes the snap, fakes to Dotson, carries straight ahead, and he finds himself in the open at midfield, 45, and he steps out of bounds around the 42, and the Lions will have another first down on the Round Rock 42 with 9:31 left in the third period. And looks like Parrott starting to get a little bit more comfortable back there at quarterback at the varsity level. The youngin, just a sophomore, spent most of his time this season at receiver.
Well, that was just a good show of how good his eyes are, because he kept his eyes up and read that all the way through. Great job by Parrott. Good vision.
So we have the pistol formation with Dotson behind Parrott and Smith in front of him. Got a receiver on either side of the formation. Weingart, the tight end, here on the short side. There's the snap. They hand to Dotson, go into the wide side. And we have a late flag. Looks like it could be a hold as Dotson fights his way to the line of scrimmage, but not much beyond that. And it's going to be a hold against the Lions, and that'll back them up if Round Rock accepts the penalty, and they likely will, which will make it 1st and 20. It's going to put the ball back into Lion territory at the 48. And so the Lions need to get down to the Round Rock 33 for a first down. They've got 4 downs to do it here. Clock is wound at 9:20. Parrott, the quarterback, has 2 running backs in a shotgun formation. Takes the snap, hands to Dotson, going left to right. He cuts back the other way, picks up a block from Parrott, cuts up on the left seam, and gets about 10 or 11 yards to the 41. Nice vision. Barry Sanders-esque if he was a little bit faster. that would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, you can just see the pursuit of Round Rock. Just whichever direction he's starting, you see, 8 or 9 men go in that direction. So
why wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course. That's what you have. So hopefully Parrott may be able to, pull on a zone read or something like that and get outside. But yeah, good run by Dotson.
2nd and 9. Parrott takes the snap. They hand to Dotson, fake to Dotson, and Parrott comes back the other way. Had a little bit of trouble getting a handle on the snap. Kind of a little rough getting up off of the sack by Kyler Kirkpatrick of Round Rock. Probably should have warranted a warning from the referee, but did not even, didn't even blink twice at the move. So it's 3rd and long here for the Lions.
And that wasn't really a smooth play from the get-go. A little bit, wasn't really.
Could never get the handle on the ball. Whether he intended to hand to Dotson or not, he didn't really have a good grip on the football, and you got to have that first and foremost. So 7:53 left here in the 3rd period. It winding down. High snap, Parrott able to get underneath it, but there was a whistle right before
timeout
the snap, and it is a timeout, Leander, because the play clock was running down. And we'll take the break with them. You're listening to Lion Football on SHN Sports. We'll be right back.
A big thank you goes out from the Leander Lions Football Booster Club to our 2 great platinum sponsors for their support of Leander Lions football this season. First, 9 Round Fitness, located at 2906 South Baghdad Road, right across the street from Leander High School. Call 9 Round at 512-843-3925. 9 Round, where your first 30-minute full-body workout is free. Look for them on Facebook. That's 9 Round. And Good Flow Plumbing. Call them at 512-501-2051 or find them online at goodflowplumbing.com. Good Flow Plumbing, backed by more than 50 years of industry experience in Austin, Good Flow Plumbing provides honest, knowledgeable plumbing service. The kind of service you can trust. Good Flow Plumbing, license M-37868. Thanks again for sponsoring Leander Lions football. And go Lions!
Welcome back to Round Rock as the Lions come out of the timeout here, 3rd and long, looking to convert.
Yeah, you've got the new center and new quarterback here trying to find their own rhythm.
So we got a pistol formation, Dotson in the backfield. And that's going to be a keeper by Pare as he had an option look going to the left side, and he gets up to the original line of scrimmage where it'll be 4th and 10. They'll have it at the 42. And, looks like the Lions are going to leave the offense out there. Why not? Down big, clock counting. You want to try to get work in, especially going forward if Parrott's going to be needed to finish out the season. You want him to get as much experience in game situations as possible at that tough quarterback position. So he'll have a shotgun formation here on 4th and 10. Dotson in the backfield with him. 3 receivers tight, and they send Dotson in motion to that side of the formation. Parrott steps up into the pocket, tucks it to run, cuts up at the 40, gets over the 35 to the 34, and he stopped about 1.5 yards short of the first down, and the ball will go over to Round Rock on down.
Yeah, great effort there by the Leander offense. They made a lot of good progress there coming in with the backup quarterback.
Yeah, but they were starting way behind the chains, trying to make up that yardage. It's a little bit tough to do that. So Round Rock now has the ball here, 1st and 10 on their 35-yard line. There's a handoff up the middle, stacked up. He gains a couple yards there. They're going to blow the whistle there. So that'll move it to 2nd down for Round Rock. They have Seth Ford still in at quarterback. And running back is number 8, Trey King. It is a throw down the left side, and it is incomplete. They tried to go to Sullivan again down the left sideline.
Flag on the play here.
Yeah, pretty good coverage there, this time by Jammer as he was running stride for stride.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, they like that matchup there against Jammer. Jammer's got to do a good job of staying with that receiver and wait till the end to turn towards the ball. Right now you just need to keep up with number 9 in stride.
Yeah, we've seen him make some huge plays tonight. He's good hands and good speed. Tall receiver as well.
And as Chuck mentioned, Jalen Jammer, he's just a sophomore, so he's coming in, with, learning every play.
So Ford gets the ball, rolls out to his right, looking down the field, throws it, and it is behind the receiver, number 19, Tyler Clifton. So that'll be an incomplete pass, and they will flip it over to 4th down and 8 for Round Rock. So looks like they're going to bring the punting unit in.
Great job by Leander defense. Stop this offense of the Round Rock Dragons.
Yeah, looks like back deep is number 10's Ford to put the punt up. No one back yet deep for Leander. Now someone's running back. 6:25 left here in the third quarter. Dragons are up 43-7. Snap is back. Kick is up. Nice high kick. It'll hit about the 23, and it'll roll down to inside the 20, and Round Rock will down the ball there. So with 6:12 left here in the third quarter, looks like clock is – they did stop it. Yeah. And Leander's now going to take the field.
Yeah, and that was Round Rock's first punt of the game so far.
Well, Seth Ford came out a la Danny White and put a nice punt into the air. That's a kind of a lost art, the quarterback also being a punter. Mm-hmm. That used to really be a thing in the 70s and 80s. And you see it from time to time as teams will line up in a normal formation, normal shotgun, and right before the snap, the quarterback will take a couple of steps
Hop
back.
used to do that pooch. He used to do the pooch kick.
It can be effective if you do it the correct way. So Pare in a pistol formation, Dotson behind him. Pare takes the snap, throws it to Leonard, who pretty good pass from Pare, goes right through his hands, though Leonard not quite ready for it. And so incomplete will make it 2nd down. Yeah,
and Parrott he's a pretty accurate passer. That's one thing he has going for him. So he's, just got to find that rhythm with those receivers that they've been searching, this whole game. Give credit to the defense, giving Round Rock their first 3 and out. Let's see if Leander can take advantage.
When you have a sophomore in, you never know how they're going to perform. They might do well in practice, but in a game situation, it's a lot different. And Parrott has handled himself very well, and I think the Lions are pretty pleased with his production, considering his level of experience at this level. And he takes the snap and keeps it on the right side. The Dragons string it out and minimize that gain to maybe a yard, as there's a big pile up on the sideline, and Parrott is getting up very slowly, but he looks like he's okay. It's going to be 3rd down now for Leander. They need 10 still to convert for a first down. We're at about 5.5 minutes and counting here in the first half.
Yeah, and this coaching staff, they're sticking with the game plan. They're not slowing things down for Parrott, and they're doing things to build his confidence along with the rest of the team as well, having confidence in their quarterback, and he's proven that right now.
And they're getting a lot of young players playing time, and it looks like the Lions will have to burn another timeout, or it looks like a flag was actually thrown because of the play clock expiring, and the Lions will take a delay of game.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier, they're missing a lot of offensive guys and some defensive guys due to injuries and so forth, and some of the key, force of the offense. However, they've done a great job of bringing guys in. They don't have the luxury of what you see here at Round Rock. I counted almost maybe over 80 guys on the sideline here.
Yeah.
Leander doesn't have those numbers.
We don't have that many in the entire program.
So they're pulling through the entire school really to put teams together.
So Parrott takes a snap and drops straight back and throws a pretty good pass to Weingart, a little bit hot, and Weingart unable to handle it, and it'll be 4th down, and the Lions will bring Eli Gaiman onto the field and try to flip the field as best they can. They're going to try to get a decent punt out of game, and there have been a couple of bad or questionable snaps here in the punting game, and hopefully they'll be able to level that off and not snap it so highly back there, because that gives Round Rock more of an opportunity to try to see if they can get a hand on the kick. Looks like Evan Smith snapping. He snaps it. Nice job by Gaiman. Gets
Good
a nice punt. Runs the punt returner all the way back to his 40. And that, of course, is Sullivan, who runs to his right, comes back at midfield, and the Lions are able to stack him up there. And the Dragons will have the ball 1st and 10 with 4:25 left here in the third period.
Well, there's evidence right there of that Lion pride. As this team does not get up, they're going to fight till the bitter end. They've been outmatched in some games. They've been, they're basically in constant rehearsal. This team is trying to build something for the future. As Coach Price and his staff here for the first year, they're trying to get everybody in position for the future. With these younger guys, trying to find out what they can do best. And but this team doesn't give up. They fight till the end.
And it's reduced at this point to having victories on this play and then a victory on the next play. And the Dragons take a snap. That's Ford, who hands it off to 22. Of course, that's the running back, Israel Morgan.
That was number 8 in there for that running play. That's Trey King in it, running back right now. Now he comes off the field.
Coming back off. Looks like we got a new running back, though, and that's going to be number 43, Joseph Lenardi. 2nd down and 6 for the Dragons. Up big on Leander here, 3:50 remaining in the third period. Ford in a shotgun formation takes the snap, and they hand it to the receiver coming across on a jet sweep, and that is Smart, and he's going to take it all the way in for a score. That is a 46-yard jet sweep to number 14, Jordan Smart, and the Dragons add to their lead here with 3:35.
Yeah, and this Leander defense, the last drive, they get their first 3 and out of the game, force Dragons to punt. Then Dragons come right back, marching down the field with the quick score here on this drive.
And so the point after attempt coming up here is Kalinowski is able to pooch it over. It looks like he got a little bit low, had a little bit of a backspin on that one, but he gets it over the crossbar, and it is now 50-7 with 3:35 remaining.
I got some scores from around the area. Yeah, I got Cedar Park up 24-9 over Georgetown. Stony Point keeping it close. Vista Ridge is up 29-23. Connolly is now ahead of Pflugerville 20-7. Weiss is up on Elgin 28-10. Vandergrift still has a 14-point lead over McNeil, leading 21-7. And we also have the Westlake-Lake Travis game, and it is 10-3. Lake Travis.
Defensive battle. Coach Salazar, Tony Salazar, defensive coordinator there at Westlake, used to be a defensive coordinator here for the Lions, and he's made that defense quite stout over in Westlake. But Lake Travis giving them some trouble tonight. Of course, Lake Travis, of all teams, to give anyone trouble. Lake Travis can give just about anybody trouble. So.
Baker Mayfield's probably a little quiet tonight.
Well.
Nah, probably not.
No. I would say that's probably not the case.
Yeah, probably not the case.
He's probably not even talking about Lake Travis at all. He's probably talking about the Longhorn game tomorrow.
He might be licking some wounds of his own right now.
True.
The NFL will humble you pretty quick. Taking a little bit longer with him.
Kalinowski's kick is fielded by the up man, and I couldn't really tell who that was, but he carried it all the way to the 35.
Yeah, it was
Egglesey
on that return. Nice job. Instead of running across the field for 50 yards for a gain of 7, he gets about 12 straight ahead. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lions at their own 35. We're at 3:27 remaining in the third period.
Yeah, they missed Egglesey last week. He's a big part of the defense. He makes a lot of tackles. He's involved in a lot of plays. He's a big leader on that defense. And also on the special teams, you see what he can do on the run backs.
Pistol formation for the Lions. Pare the quarterback. Dotson the running back. Smith in the H-back slot. Parrott takes the snap, hands to Dotson straight ahead. He's looking for a hole, finds one, but he's only able to get a yard out of it. Donaldson there on the stop along with Brown. 2nd and 9.
The whole bunch really slow to get up.
Well, I'm sure the Lions are pretty tired. We got guys going both ways and competing both ways. So, if you've ever played a little bit of high school football, just playing one way is very tiring. And if you have to play both ways, it can be taxing on your body. So 2nd and 9, Pare in a pistol, Dotson behind him, Smith in the H-back slot, 2 receivers. Takes the snap, hands to Dotson on the left side. He gets the corner, carries over the 40 to real close to first down, about a yard shy. So it's going to be 3rd and 1. They're going to mark it at the 44-yard line of the Lions. They need the 45 here on 3rd down. So the Lions in a huddle. The play clock at about 25 seconds. Parrott comes in from the sideline with the play call. Looks like Coach Dixon was the one giving him instruction. Pistol formation. Dotson the running back. Smith in the H slot. 2 receivers, 1 on either side of the formation. Wesley Weingart in the tight end spot here on the wide side. There's the snap. They hand to the running back, and it actually is a different running back. I thought it was Dotson, but it's Dontario Berry who gets the handoff, and not much there.
Yeah, he was hit behind the line of scrimmage, lost about 2 on that, didn't have a chance.
So it's going to be 4th and 3. You got to get Dotson some rest.
Yeah. And Dontario's been out, some games, and he's back getting his legs under him again. He's one of those guys that can break a big play.
And so the Lions will bring the punting unit out here on 4th and 3. The Dragons, not trusting Leander, don't put a deep man back to receive the punt. High snap, and it's over Gaiman's head. He's able to scoop it at the 12. He looks to throw deep down the right sideline. Nobody's there as it goes out of
pass
bounds.
by Gaiman.
Hey, nice choice right there.
That's about a 40-yard pass in the air to no one.
Incomplete pass out of bounds.
Pretty.
Move the ball. Yeah, that would
pretty.
have saved about 30 yards right there.
Well, it certainly will force Round Rock to drive almost half the field as opposed to a tenth of it.
I'm thinking somebody needs to go have a talk with Gaiman. We've seen him display some skills this year in his hitting ability, and now we see his throwing ability. He may need to come out of that hole he's in as a kicker and maybe try to do some other things.
Well, he's a senior, and so he's looking to continue his academic and athletic career in college as a kicker, and so I think that's where his focus is likely. Ford takes the snap, and they hand off to a new running back, number 43, and that's Lenardi, and he picks up about 4 yards on the right side. Second down.
We're rolling down here to about the end of the 3rd quarter, under a minute left.
You want to read some scores?
Yeah, let me pull up some scores as we're probably going to have maybe one more play before the end of this quarter.
Yeah, they'll have to snap it at least one time due to the play clock. Yeah, and they do get a play called in from the sideline, Ford in a pistol. Lenardi, the running back, 2 receivers on either side of the formation. They bring one in motion, and they they fake to him, and the quarterback keeps it straight ahead, and he carries inside the 20 to the 17. That quarterback, I said it was Ford, but it is Benjamin LeGrant. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Round Rock. That's the end of the first period.
So a couple other scores around the area. Cedar Park is up 31-9 over Georgetown now. Stony Point and Vista, same score, 29-23 Vista. They scored a lot early, and they're just getting ready to start the 3rd quarter. Connolly is up 20-7 over Pflugerville. Weiss is up 28-10 over Elgin. Vandergrift still up 21-7. Just started the 4th quarter. And the other score that we were talking about, Lake Travis is up 10-3 over Westlake at halftime.
You got any stats, Gary? Nothing updated. here in the second half. So as we get going here in the fourth period, the Dragons have the ball at the 17-yard line, rather, 1st and 10. That's the Lions 17, so the defense is going to have to try to bow up here and see if they can get a stop, force a field goal attempt. LeGrant, the quarterback now, as they give forward rest, the running back Lenardi. And they hand off to Lenardi, runs straight ahead. He's tackled by Nana Sarpong. After a short gain, there's a flag down. And likely in the area of holding, we'll see.
Yeah, they're going to mark it off against the Dragons.
Yeah, and the Lions really, they needed that penalty here, try to make it a little more difficult for the Dragons to add to their lead, as it'll push the line of scrimmage back to the 27-yard line of Leander. Round Rock needing to get down to the 8 for a first down. They wind the clock here with 11:45. LeGrant still the quarterback, Lenardi the running back. 2 receivers on the short side of the formation, 2 on the wide side. They hand to the jet sweep running back number 5, who cuts up at the 30-25.
Still on his feet.
Down to the 5, forced out of bounds right at the 1, and that is Christian Wendell.
Yeah, he was forced out there by Egglesey. You know, we talk about the improvement that this team is trying to find here on this Leander side of the ball.
Flag on the 11.
So that may bring it back, and that's why the sticks haven't moved. And it is going to go against Round Rock, and it's likely, again, it's a hold. And so that'll move the line of scrimmage to the 21, but it will remain first down. So it's first and about 13 for the Dragons.
One of the things that's improved on this Leander side of the ball is their penalties, as they're only sitting right now with 2 for 15 yards. Round Rock not doing so bad themselves. They're showing 3 for the game.
Yeah, Round Rock's not going to give you a lot of opportunities. The Lions got a couple early on turnovers, were able to capitalize a little, but not enough. It's this Round Rock team has overpowered them tonight. LeGrant takes the snap, and he hands to Lenardi straight ahead. Lenardi bowls his way forward for a couple of yards, maybe 3. Nana on the tackle.
Yeah, I think from some of the first games this season, Jared, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Leander was sitting around, 18 penalties in one half of a game, with almost 100 yards or close to over 100 yards of penalties in one half. So massive improvement, and that's credit due to the coaching staff here at Leander getting these guys right on track. And
well, make no mistake, it is going to be a long process to build this program back to where it once was. And we have a jet sweep to Wendell.
Yeah, we talk about that.
Wernley, rather.
We talk about that a lot, and everybody wants instant gratification. And this team has not been in a good place, for several years and multiple years, and they've got to get back to the winning ways, and part of that is mental, part of that is rebuilding, just getting the confidence in the players, rebuilding the confidence with the fans,
buy-in and
participation. There's a lot that goes into it. We mentioned. Go ahead and get this play off.
That's right. LeGrant takes the snap, fakes to Wernley, and then keeps straight ahead. He's spun down around the 10-yard line, shy of the first down. It's going to be 4th and about 2, and it looks like the field goal unit will come out for Round Rock.
But we see these college programs, who have these same struggles, and, these coaches get paid millions of dollars and have everything they need to build a program, and yet it's still really difficult to do in multiple, 3 years. So,
well, it'd be one thing to just build a program. The problem is everybody else that you play against, they want to win too, and they're building as well and improving, et cetera. The point after attempt, or the field goal rather, was good, and that'll give Round Rock a 53-7 lead with 8:54 left in regulation. And I guess that probably till the end of the game, it's unlikely we'll get a tie. That'd be quite a comeback in the fourth period.
We would witness some history.
Yeah, it would be. And I've seen videos of 21 points being scored in like 11 seconds, but it took some craziness for it to happen. And that's not even going to get us anywhere near where we need to be. So this district is going to have one, maybe two teams with just a couple of district losses that are going to miss the playoffs. It's a little more top-heavy than I thought it was. I mean, I knew it was a tough district, but surprises out of Stony Point and Vista Ridge here early.
Well, you look at some of these surrounding districts, and we talked about it before, too. Last week, actually, Leander comes from, two strong districts prior to this one.
25-6A, and then before that, and one similar to the one we're in.
So it's there's no rest for the wicked here in Central Texas Friday night under the lights here.
No, sir. Kalinowski to kick for Round Rock. It's going to be a short kick fielded by Joseph Choto at the 18. He's at the 20s, cutting across the field. He cuts up the 30, cuts in 35, bounced out at the line 40. Nice return by Choto, and the Lions will have another opportunity here with 8:43 left.
Yeah, good job by Choto getting it going all the way across the field. You can see his speed as he is darting across there. Good open field speed and get out to the 40-yard line.
I mentioned that he played a little quarterback in sub-varsity, and we've also mentioned that Garrett Landry was hurt for a large portion of all of last season and a portion of the season before. And Joseph Choto's the one who filled in at quarterback, did a very nice job, especially in that modified veer. Not quite the style quarterback you want for this offense, but he's a great athlete. So Pare takes the snap, draws back to hit Egglesey, and there's going to be a hold called against the Round Rock Dragons, likely going to go against the defender Wilfredo Cuidrado. I'm not used to an R being in there. Cuidado is like a city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the throw was behind him, and you could see him when the Leander receiver was trying to go back to the ball, and he just kept running and grabbed him and pulled him. So,
well, to give the Lions a first down, those are typically a 15-yard penalty here in high school, and so they'll move it all the way to the Round Rock 45. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Lions.
Yeah, and you also have Will Loof, who started as a quarterback. So you've got several options here.
You want to develop your younger
situation.
guy.
Yeah, for sure.
So pistol formation for Parrott. Dotson the running back. Evan Smith in the H slot. Smith moves motion from right to left. They hand to Dotson to follow Smith. He gets up behind Smith and carries it all the way to the 40. They're going to mark him at the 41, so a gain of 4. And so the play clock is moving. The game clock's at 7:50. And Parrott's running back in from the sidelines with the play to the huddle. The huddle's broken.
He's getting his laps in there.
Yeah, good steps. I got plenty of steps here. There's no elevator here to the press box at Dragon Stadium. And they have kettle corn, so you got to go down at least once when the corn's ready. Hand off to Dotson from Parrott, and he carries straight ahead for a gain of about 3, maybe 4. He's going to be 2 yards shy of the first down, 3rd and 2, as they put the ball marked at the 37.
Well, here's what I know. Climbing up those steps one time, you don't see me going back and forth.
Yeah.
Probably need to do some of that 9 round that we keep hearing on the commercials.
That free 30-minute full-body workout sounds pretty scary to me.
That's a long time. 30 minutes is a long time.
We appreciate the sponsorship 9 round. And you guys at Good Flow Plumbing as well. All of our sponsors, for that matter. Pistol formation for Parrott. Dotson, the tailback. Smith in motion. They hand to Dotson straight ahead. He's picking his way and driving his feet. He's going to be a little shy of the first down. The line judge on the Leander side gave him no gain. The line judge on this side, not much. And so they're going to say 4th and 2 as they didn't really give him what it looked like he deserved to me.
Yeah.
It should have been 4th and 1, but 4th and 1, 4th and 2. You got to convert either
Dotson
way.
sitting around 160 yards right now. Total offense, of course, 91 of them coming from the long 91-yard touchdown run there in the first half.
Great blocking on that play. 4th down, Pare in a pistol, Dotson behind him. There's the snap. They fake to Dotson, and they hit Smith. Oh, Smith was open there, and Pare let him a little bit too much. And Smith unable to come down with the catch, and that'll turn the ball over to the Dragons with 5:55.
Yeah, you talk about that rhythm. Evan Smith been playing linebacker, starting linebacker, playing now offense side of the ball. When you run those routes, you gotta keep running.
Evan's going to have to spend some time sleeping and recouping after tonight's game, that's for sure, because I don't know that he stepped off the field, and that's tough on the 6A varsity.
Yeah, between him and
game.
Dotson, they've been playing quite a bit.
Pistol formation. The handoff goes to the running back, number 24, straight ahead. That's Carson Otworth, and he gets minimal gain, maybe about 4 yards.
Of course, you got a lot of guys, Will Loof, we mentioned earlier, he's playing both sides of the ball. You got Ray Egglesey, he's doing a lot, special team work, and, these guys, they love what they do.
Well, you got to love football. If you don't, then you haven't really experienced football. That's just truth right there.
I agree.
2nd down and 6. Pistol formation. There's the snap. They hand off to the running back, 24, and he's tackled immediately. And that's Otworth on the carry. Who was that? Big number 66 there for the Lions. That's Philip Sines. Philip Sines is a brave kid. He's dating one of the offensive line coach's daughters.
Ooh.
So you have no fear
That is brave.
when you're willing to date a coach's daughter. So a
lot of yes sirs going on in that conversation.
You're either a really good kid or you got no fear. And so I've met him. He's a good kid, good family. And so we got 3rd down, 7 yards to go. And they hand off to the running back, number 26, and he gets a few yards, is drugged down by Shoto, and that running back is Lucas Ward. He stopped shy of the 1st down at the 45. It'll be 4th and 2, and we'll see what's going to happen here, if they're going to go for it, if they're going to send out a punter.
Yeah, you mentioned the love for the game. Some of these guys, they've been on these losing teams, the last couple years, and when we talk to them and when you watch them here on film, you can't tell. You can't tell that they've faced all that adversity because they give 100%, week in and week out, for this Leander team. They're leaders of the team. They keep the train rolling, and you got to like that moving forward. Coach Price got some good leaders, and some coming up in the lower ranks.
And so the Dragons burn the play clock down and take the delay game penalty to give themselves 5 yards, and they'll bring out the punting unit at this point. Dotson back. Andre Burt back to receive.
Yeah, real quick. We got about 3 minutes left here in the game. Cedar Park is up 31-15 over Georgetown. Stony Point is now up over Vista Ridge 30-29.
I'm not surprised.
With 5:22 left in the 3rd.
Plenty of time.
Connolly is up now 20-14 over Pflugerville. And we have Vandergrift 28, McNeil 14. That is in the 4th quarter.
Ford's punt is going to hit at around the 25 and be downed at the 23 of the Lions. 2.5 minutes left, and the Lions will run their offense out. The referees are running the clock at this point, so there's no dead time between possessions. Go ahead.
Yeah, Glenn is up 16-0 over Cedar Creek.
Is that their first win? I think it might be.
It might be. I'm not sure. And,
good for Glenn.
And then Lake Travis is still up 10-3 over Westlake.
And so the Lion offense will come out with 2:27 and counting. Pare the quarterback, Dotson the running back. Smith in the H slot. 2 receivers, 1 on each side of the formation. Parrott looks to the sideline, gets the signal from Coach Dixon. Barks his cadence, takes the snap, hands to Dotson, who's got a little bit to the outside. He's at 25-30, 35-40. There's a flag behind Dotson. He's at the 40, and he's forced out of bounds at the Dragon 33, but that flag in a bad spot, typically a hold or a block in the back, and it looks like the center, Michael Conte, not in a hurry to run down the field. So,
yeah, just to kind of touch on the Leander schedule for the rest of the year. Here we go. Got the call here. Going against Leander.
Illegal block. Go ahead.
So we've got Leander playing McNeil Mavericks next week at Bible Stadium. And then Leander, after that, playing Westwood at Kelly Reeves. And then their last game to finish out the season against Vandergrift there at Bible at the home field for Leander Lions.
We've got to get that Kelly Reeves funk out of us this season when we take on Westwood. We haven't had good games there this season. And so hopefully we'll be able to continue to build on the minimal victories that we've had here. 1:45 left. Pare shotgun formation, 1st and 10. Ball at the 23 of Leander. There's a snap, and they hand to Dotson going the same. No, that's not Dotson. That's going to be number 22 this time.
Barry.
That's, Dontario Barry. And he's wrapped up as the Dragon defense swarming, led by Jaden Smith. So it'll be 2nd and about 13 from the 19-yard line. About a minute left.
Yeah, tough game here for Leander. We knew that Round Rock was going to be a strong team, and Leander came out fighting early on, had a couple opportunities to put a few more points up on the board, but came out a little short.
They weren't intimidated, which
not at all.
To me, was pretty impressive. And Parrott hasn't the stage hasn't been too big for him either at quarterback. He takes a snap, fakes it to Dontario Barry, and keeps it straight ahead, drives his way back close to the original line of scrimmage, and we're at about 35 seconds left, and it's burning down. So the Lions here, 3rd down and 11. If they're going to get a playoff, they need to go on ahead and get it called. Their play clock is irrelevant.
Yeah, it's always fun coming to this stadium. As you know, I basically grew up here on Friday nights, coming here watching my brother play football and me here playing football and out there in the grass throwing my, playing touch.
Yeah,
and
you were probably not watching very much football. You were playing a lot.
Oh yeah, this was a big game. Westwood against Round Rock, playing for the bell. It was a rivalry. Everybody was paying attention.
Well, that's the ball game. Dragons 53, Lions 7. Tune in next week as Leander takes on McNeil at home. And do we have any updates, anybody?
Well, we got right now, just finishing out the game, Round Rock leaving the field with 478 total yards against Leander 192. Of course, 91 of those yards there on that one
Still
play
better
for a
production
touchdown.
than we've had.
Yeah, great job.
Well, that's the ball game. Thank you for listening to SHN Sports. For Rich Hensley on production, Mark Sickles and Gary Gutierrez on color commentary.
Go Lions.
Jared Schmeiser on stats. I'm Chuck Crazy. Thanks for listening.
Good night.